Hi, hello, welcome, Doodle Crew. We're back. We're back. And hey, guess what? We are excited to be here. It's been a weird day, but we're here. And I wouldn't quite go so far as to say it was villainous, but I would very much like to vanquish my specific day. But also, I would like to do a little bit of a celebration. So, happy birthday to Sailor Moon! Hooray! So it is in the anime and manga and in the world of Sailor Moon. Today is actual Sailor Moon's birthday. So we thought that this would be a very appropriate day to draw some Sailor Moon villains. Can't type and talk. That's what I'm doing. All right, there we go. So let us do the thing. Go around, tell people who you are, where they can find you, and which villain of the week you have selected for us. So Randall, I'm gonna start with you.
Okay, hi, hello everyone. I'm Randall, but today I'll be Randy Neptune in
Yeah.
celebration of Sailor Moon. I've got my Sailor Moon shirt on today, so
Beautiful.
we're in the
Love it.
spirit. So you can find me on Instagram at Randy Limoges. I've also got a Tumblr that I sometimes remember exists, and I think I usually post my art there. You can also find me on ArtStation. If you search really hard, I'm sure you'll find it. But yeah, so that's where you can find me today. I have decided to do this dumb creature from the third season. Her name is Dieheart. She literally is just like a giant heart statue that gets the diamond pod put inside of it.
Yes.
And then so she's got like, big heart across her chest, and of course on the rear. So I gotta try and do the TNA pose, that awful, shameful pose that common.
Get both the boobs and the butt.
Right?
All the hearts.
All of the hearts. I love that there is one on her butt. Like, that's just so perfect.
Perfectly framed, too.
Yes.
Perfectly framed.
Also, oh, there we go. Now you're back.
Oh, there we go.
We filled for you. Also, I love the way you set it up, and I was so expecting you to just be like, I'm drawing this dumb bitch. And like, that's what I was ready for you to say. And it cracked me up. So, yay.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see her. Excellent. All right, Kia, going to you.
All right. So, hi, I'm Kia, coming to you live from LA hotel room right now. I actually had to travel today, so if I sound a little wonky or something, that's why. But I didn't want to miss the stream because I am a huge Sailor Moon fan. I got my collector's Sailor Moon shirt and earrings on. Yay. Celebrating that new star season. So you can find me online. I exist. Do I post regularly? Unfortunately, no. I am a little swamped with other projects and work, and social media has had to take a break. But you can find me on Instagram. I still check my messages all the time, and hopefully I'll start posting again soon. Instagram's probably the best, but like Randy, I do have Twitter that I sometimes remember, and I'm still a lurker on Tumblr quite often, so you can reach out to me there. I'm Kia or Kia Creations on all of those. And today I am doing one of the minions from the Sailor Moon R movie, the Promise of a Rose movie. So it's the Cassinian Blossoms minions, which I found out are named Glycinia or Glycia. They're these weird plant spider women things. Not quite sure how to categorize them, animal, vegetable, mineral, but that's what you get. And they are the perfect blend of like scary and sexy with a little bit of goofy, which is kind of the three stages of the Sailor Moon monsters of the day. They're either scary, sexy, or goofy.
Yeah.
So I thought
love
this,
it.
and I have a second one that I already have kind of sketched out, and I'm going to keep that a secret because it's funny. Yay! Although Randall knows what it is.
That's okay. The audience doesn't know.
No.
Excellent. And Megan, over to you.
Hi, I'm Megan. You can find me online almost everywhere at Megan C Creates or some derivative thereof. Mostly on Instagram. So I couldn't recall the thousands of villains and the names and everything, so I wound up just going to Villain Wiki and picking a first season bad guy. So today I'm doing Thetis, however you want to say it, and if I have time, I plan to do a big bad guy for my second piece, but we'll see how it goes.
Yay! I'm excited. I like I was saying earlier, I remember this bad guy, but I don't remember how they attack. I vaguely remember them.
The Thetis one that
Yeah.
Megan's doing?
Yeah.
It involves a disco ball.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's amazing.
But once you say that, I know exactly what episode you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love it so much. Yeah. Now that's again like enough information for me to be like, yep, that makes sense. That's a bad guy that happens. So yeah, and then me. I'm a swan named Emily all across the internet. You can find me everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, kinda. All of the places. ArtStation, I have one. I don't update it, but all the things. You're also here on my channel where I also stream my own personal art every Friday, most Fridays. I'm also part of the In Addition podcast, and here is where you'll also find Sketching Shakespeare, which I do with one of my other co-hosts, all about drawing and Shakespeare. And then just promo, if you want to see more of us, more of Doodle Crew, we are at Doodle Crew Draw all across the internet, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. We're posting our art from previous seasons and previous episodes, so you can check out all of that. Also, check out our link tree where you can find all of the information for all of us artists. And for me today, I am doing so I remembered the episode very clearly, but I clearly did not remember how fast these villains were vanquished. But I love them anyways. So I am doing Castor and Pollux. And they are the two baddies that came out of the multicolor animation pencil. So this is from the animation episode because I loved that episode. So it is a poor, struggling student who is trying to make it while working on the Sailor V animated movie. And gets possessed by Nephrite, and her pencil comes alive to Castor and Pollux. They both cast one attack, and then they get beaten. And that's it for them. And I love it. So, yeah. Now I just have to figure out how to draw them. Hooray! And I do also, I have a backup if things go smoothly, but we'll see.
Things can do that.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe.
I like that we all have backups if our first ones don't work, like many of the villains. They're just keep coming with them.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole when I was trying to find this episode for reference shots for this bad guy about like Jadeite's like best moments, and he is snotty in the anime. I forgot how snotty he is.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think so. I got really bummed out because I wanted to watch some Sailor Moon here at home, and I realized that it's all streaming on Hulu, but it's not the original 90s dub. It's one of the newer dubs. And like I get real spicy about the fact that it's not old lady Luna voice. And I'm just like, it's not my Luna. And so thankfully, when I was down visiting Randall, we got to watch some Sailor Moon, and the amount of amazing voice acting that in the episodes we watched was so great. Like, I had forgotten how amazing Molly's voice acting is. It's just like, oh, Nepflight, and I'm just like, what? That is incredible. It's so good. It's so good. So if you are a Moonie fan at all, I highly recommend getting a hold of, which is hard to do, or finding on YouTube original clips from the original 90s, because that dub is pure magic.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Nothing compares.
No. And I realize, I mean, obviously that's the one that I grew up on, but I realize how much those voices are so specifically tied to the characters for me. Like, I hear other voice acting in other iterations, and I'm like, this is wrong. I don't like it. It's wrong. Put it back.
I was actually having that conversation with someone today about how, and I mean, this could get into a whole discussion about new dubs versus old dubs versus subs, but just I felt that back when anime dubbing was new, it was very common for the voice actors to use their own voice, and so everyone sounded very unique and different. And again, not to dig if anyone's first exposure was the new English dub, that's perfectly fine. But with the new dub, I found that it is harder to tell the difference between the individual characters because they just sound the same to me.
Yeah, no, I agree completely.
And they all change their pitch to not their original voice, not their like natural voice, and it just not my thing. And I just kind of really miss that, like how you could watch any episode and you know who's talking without even looking at the screen. But that's just, one of those arguments, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm completely with you. And that was the thing, because when I was watching and all of a sudden Luna was talking, she had the same tone as the Sailor Scouts themselves. And I was just like, no, like she needs to, even if you don't go full old lady Luna voice, which, I mean, why wouldn't you? But she needs to be different enough. Like, she can't just sound like the rest of them. But
I don't mind that they made her into this like nanny almost.
I thought it was perfect.
Agreed.
Someone needs to talk sense into them.
Yeah, that is definitely, I mean, just beyond even Sailor Moon, thinking about it, like, the recent dub of the new like Fruits Basket and stuff, it's like you've lost a lot of the flavor of the characters when they all kind of sound the same.
I think this is just my unknowledgeable opinion. I have no idea about the voice acting community, but it feels like they all have the same voice coach, or they only learn from each other and they don't actually learn from, like, I hate to say actual acting as if to imply that they're not actors, but I think you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
they're in their own little like microcosm, and if they don't learn except from each other, I think that's why they all sound the same, maybe. Anyway.
yeah.
Well, it's also like those TikToks, if you've ever seen them, of like the one girl who's just doing all the voices of the stereotypical anime characters.
I have not, but
I have not either.
Yeah, she'll be the like stern teacher, and then transition to the like ditzy airhead classmate, and like every single one of them, you just hear it and you're like, I know that character. This is awful.
Oh, like they just
no.
They just do tropes now. They don't actually do characters. They don't give them characters. They just give them tropes.
Yeah, and I think that was actually the title of the TikTok itself, was I'm haunted by modern anime trope voice acting.
See, that's a shame. I mean, they should be treated with like the same seriousness as any other voice acting animation. Like they don't all have to be, this is the ditzy schoolgirl and this is the villainess, and like,
but I think because they're trying to churn them out so quickly,
yeah,
they just don't.
I feel like
quality, quantity.
Yeah, if you've got one person who does ditzy really well, but then can also transition into like the teacher, like you just get her in and you record like 8 different shows with her, and so all of the ditzy characters just sound the same.
Yep.
Oh my god. I thought I drew her bra like super sexy and scantily, but nope, it was more than I even thought it was. Cool. Thanks, Sailor Moon. You never let me down with your weird villains.
Such weird costumes. Just the weirdest costumes.
And it's not like they're not like that in the manga. I mean, they're weird sometimes, but they're not like that. You can actually tell which ones were from the manga originally and which weren't. I feel like sometimes.
that could be a whole nother episode. It's just like draw Sailor Moon villain costumes.
Right? Make up your own Sailor Moon villain.
Make up
I
your-
would be fine with that. You know me, I am never going to protest Sailor Moon episodes. So,
And
I
then you
mean,
could eat,
where's
like,
our own personal Senshi episode, right?
mm-hmm.
When are we going to do that episode? Huh? Huh?
Yeah, where is it? Where is it?
I mean,
Oh,
I'm
maybe-
free after this. What are you guys doing?
Let's say kick off to season 4. We can make this happen.
I think one of the most interesting things that we found out when Kristen was researching stuff that I didn't know about
Oh,
was the villains in the Supers season. Those apparently had coding on their character designs to denote like which person they came from. So like all of Tiger's Eye's villains had diamonds on them,
Oh.
and so did was it Hawkeye who also had diamonds, or was it Fish?
Yeah, Fisheye had the spades.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
And there was actually some interesting random trivia that I found. Megan, your character, what was it? It began with a T.
Thetis.
Thetis. Apparently, according to the wiki, Thetis is the only, I guess they call them, I think, Yoma in the first season, is the only Yoma that is Queen Barrels specifically. All the other ones
Interesting.
are from the generals, but I guess she specifically, that's her minion. So
I
if the
didn't-
villain you chose was Beryl, that would have, good. I don't know if it was, but
No, actually, I chose a later one, but no, I was wondering because the dialogue that she and Jadeite has, I mean, she's clearly not his minion, and that's what I found fascinating about her. Is I'm like, this is another member of the Dark Kingdom. Like the anime explores it a little bit more with them being like Dark Kingdom citizens, I think, than the manga or even Crystal goes into. But yeah, it was almost like she was still subordinate to him, but like didn't take orders from him, like they were working together. And I was like, this is cool. I don't remember this episode, but this is cool.
yeah, I think it's just from the context, and then maybe it was like creators confirmed later. But yeah, apparently she is Barrels, not
Wow.
Jedites.
That is cool.
That's cool.
And the only other one that might be Barrels was the Doom and Gloom sisters.
I always assumed they were. I mean, they're like the last
yeah, they're the big
hurrah.
the big bad before you get to the big bad. So
They're the dragon, the
yeah.
lancer to the villain.
Also, they are remarkably effective. Let's be real.
Oh,
Mhm.
heck yeah. It's like, why didn't you send them out earlier?
Yeah, I can't do that.
They weren't like her personal. It's been so long. They weren't like her personal bodyguard or something, were they? Like her
never-
personal.
I don't think there was ever really any confirmation, and it definitely didn't say in the manga, because they were not in the manga.
Yeah, they weren't in
Okay.
the manga. Yeah.
Okay, what is her shoulder pads? What? Which,
Which
by the way, another observation that was made when Randall and I were doing our extensive scientific research. So many dang shoulder pads.
so many.
I think it's because it's an automatic villain thing. Like, oh, if you need them to look like a villain, give them ginormous shoulder pads, Saiyans. Looking at you.
Yeah, Ace, honestly, it is still very much of its time. Like, there's definitely a whole lot of 90s that happen in it, but despite its ridiculousness, there's some really good quality there. Like, in going back and watching some of it, I was like, whew, some of these Villain of the Week episodes are a little rough, but if you can work through them, like, I feel like the overarching story, especially once you get past season 1, really, like, collecting all of your characters is a little tedious. Like, but no, it's really fun, and it's at no point it does the thing where at no point does it take itself too seriously, but it also takes itself completely seriously. And it's a beautiful blend of like, no, this is insane, but we've bought into it. So it's fun.
Mm-hmm. That was one of the things that we were talking about watching the English dub, was at a certain point, I don't know if it's in the Japanese, but they were definitely poking fun of it in the Super season, because Chibiusa says something along the lines of, like, is it just me, or are these enemies just getting sillier?
I think it was in the Cloverway dub.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in the original Cloverway dub, because I remember Toonami using that clip constantly in their advertising for Sailor Moon, like as if Toonami like knew that it was weird, and it's like, no, guys, no, it's okay, we know, but it's okay.
we're in on it.
we embrace.
Yeah, like there are times where it just, the running joke is always like Tuxedo Mask shows up for a second, throws a rose, then he's like, peace, and just leaves. And you're like, you could have been a lot more help, sir. But also, like, there's this whole cool story arc that's happening with him, and it's fun.
Well, it is a load of fun, but the sad thing with Tuxedo Mask is, like, when you read the manga, and Crystal's done a fairly good job of this. I haven't seen Eternal yet, but he gets powers, he gets abilities, he can do things, and then all of us only know it as, the guy that throws the rose and leaves,
Yeah,
like that's all he's good for.
There's a good reason for that, actually. Funny reason.
Do tell.
The director of Sailor Moon hated Tuxedo Mask. Hated him. Now, Tuxedo Mask Mamoru is, so the mangaka, the creator of Sailor Moon, Naoko Takeuchi, she created Tuxedo Mask, Mamoru, Darien, whatever you want to call him, to be like, oh, he's the ideal man, like he's the perfect man that she like loved. And then the director, whose name is escaping me, but he also did like Utena and a couple other shows, hated him, absolutely hated him. That's why he also gets the shaft in
oh my God.
a lot of episodes too, and just so he was underutilized and not given powers for that reason. Well, not that reason alone, like I'm sure they also didn't want him to come in and like steal the spotlight, but
right
a big part of it was also he was disliked.
That's really funny. No, and I always appreciated the fact that it was girl power and girl led at the jump. Like that was the main part of it. At no point was he coming in and just always saving them. Like he was there for an assist, but this was not his show. But yeah, man, he gets dunked on so hard, so many times.
You can kind of tell that he knows. Like I feel like they just kind of slip it in sometimes. It's like, man, I'm so useless. Why am I here?
I mean, maybe if he wasn't dating a minor.
Yeah,
there's that whole issue too.
Yeah, I enjoyed how conveniently overlooked that was for my youth. I'm just like, no, he's like a college student. And they're like, what? They're easily like 17. And then I go back. I'm like, oh no, they're 14. Shit.
Oops.
Yeah, it gets a little weird with that part of it. And, then they're like, no, we're the reincarnated. It's totally okay. Like, this is not an excuse that you should ever use.
We were adults in our past life. It's fine.
Is it though? Is it?
Queen Serenity, what were you doing? Yeah. Oh, I remember. So I think it was behind the scenes where they were talking to Bruce Timm about I think it was the Justice League animated show. And at some point, because apparently I didn't know this, but Bruce Timm doesn't like Superman. So if you watch those first, like, I don't think it's unlimited. I think it's the first 2 seasons of just Justice League. Superman, like Tuxedo Mask, gets dunked on constantly. And at some point, there's some creative meeting where they're just like, okay, but like, you need to stop disabling him every episode. Like, he is strong. You need to give him more to do. He's like, okay. And it's a very funny, like, I love that the guy who was mainly known for Batman is just like, no, Superman, you get nothing.
I really wanted you to end that with maybe Bruce Timm saying like, "Make me."
Which, yeah. At the height of it, I feel like he could have.
Oh yeah.
And Bruce Timm, make me care for him. Superman.
But it's funny because I know, like, from that point on, there are some really well done episodes where he is incorporated a lot better, and they're really good. But it was always funny to me because I'm like, yeah, no, he's not good for a bunch of time.
Is that also
like-
when like he goes evil? 'Cause
I
that
think
would make
so.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, oh no, Superman, he's possessed by this alien creature, and he's just gonna stand there the entire episode.
Oh, Starro, I love you. So good. Just so good. Okay, also, can we talk about this jumping track dangerously fast? But sometimes, like, the amount of detail in these costumes that they had to animate. I'm like, this is bonkers. Look at how much, and there's little triangles on all her stuff. Like, what are we doing with this?
The design team and the animation team did not have any coordination, or there was like a hated ex working on like the animation team that the design team was like, no, we got you. We're gonna make their life
So miserable.
so miserable.
And like, it looks so cool. It is genuinely neat, but jeepers. Like, it's just, no.
They get really elaborate too when they get goofier. Like the goofier they get, the more elaborate they sometimes get too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make any sense. I know other shows do it, but like the only other show that I can really like comes to mind that did this thing was like the Power Rangers, but they had like big rubber suits.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of other magical girl shows that are obviously like inspired from Sailor Moon did the same thing, but I still want to give credit to Sailor Moon for that.
Well, I feel like too, and I know woefully at this point, I am so out of touch with current anime and so much of anime, but like, I was always impressed with Cardcaptor Sakura and how all the different cards had different designs and animation and how she had a new dress every episode. But that was also like just her. I feel like there was not the depth of craziness for everybody else. There might have been, and I'm just not remembering, but I feel like I was just always blown away by Sailor Moon because I felt like there was so much.
Oh, I think you're right. Like I don't remember Cardcaptors being that weird.
But even like Yu Yu Hakusho and Inuyasha, like all of those, like they had baddies, but they felt like they kept their, even with Bleach, like the bad guys had a specific look and they were all kind of just gentle iterations of that.
Although
Yeah.
I do have to give Yu Yu Hakusho a moment because we just went through and actually finished watching the last season, which we had never got to do. Some of the demon designs are kind of bonkers and out there, and there's a lot of crowd scenes with all these weird. It's like taking all the Sailor Moon villains and being like, okay, crowd shot, and I'm like, oh my god.
I really liked Yu Yu Hakusho. I remember being very sad that I felt like I could not keep up with it because I couldn't find it. But
It's on Hulu.
that one I feel like I'm not going to be so attached to the voice actors, so I can probably just jump in.
I don't know, Kuwabara, man.
No,
That's
that's true.
distinct. That's like
Okay.
he's like the foil to Molly from
That's a good
the
point.
original.
Oh, that's right. I need that to just be a little sound clip that I can poke on my soundboard. And I'm like, oh, Nefron. And Randall never comes on the show ever again. It's like, nope.
The anti-Randall button.
Well, isn't it? I don't know how much hand he had in the anime, but isn't the husband of Sailor Moon the guy who did Yu Yu Hakusho?
He is the creator. That is true.
Hey, see,
And when we were watching the Dark Tournament, I was like, I leaned over and I'm like, how much you want to bet Naoko designed one of those girls because they look just like a Sailor Moon villain. One of the announcer girls, she's like a dragon
Oh
girl.
yeah,
And
the
I'm
dragon
I'm
one.
pretty sure I've seen this as a
It was-
villain on Sailor Moon. I'm pretty sure.
It was a cat and a dragon.
Mhm.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Well, the cat girl's pretty generic for 90s anime cat girls, but the dragon girl, I'm like, I know this character.
That's really funny. What up, Simkin? We're talking anime. Sailor Moon specifically.
And watching me struggle and try to remember how feet and legs and everything works.
It's
Villains
so...
don't have feet.
Just draw dust. There's just she kicked up a whole bunch of dust and it's covering her feet.
Hearts.
And yeah, I was gonna say, and the dust is also hearts.
Yes. Yep, nailed it. Got it.
So the obvious question usually when talking Sailor Moon, what was your favorite season?
Oh.
Mine flip-flops depending on my mood.
Okay.
Because for me, it's usually either R or S.
So for anybody who might not be quite as in the know as us, how would you give a brief description of those two being different?
So the R season, I like that one because it's the second arc of the story, not counting the Doom Tree, which comes after Queen Beryl, where Sailor Moon's daughter comes back from the future and they have to fight to protect the future. You also get introduced to Sailor Pluto for the first time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and I mean, just all the villains. Like, I love the Dark Moon or the Black Moon, you know, depending on which version you're watching, because they're just so iconic. But then at the same time, I love S because then you get Sailor Saturn and Sailor Neptune and Uranus, and it's like now we've got the complete package.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, before anybody else answers, how did you feel about the Sailor Stars and because that's one where I think I've seen maybe a handful of episodes, but I've never gotten to watch that full season, just because it was hard to find, and then I just didn't seek it hard enough. But
Kristen likes it.
Wow.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay.
No, I'm kind of like, it's fine, but yeah, it never really got me as much as some of the other ones. Because to me, it kind of felt like the season that Naoko was like, guys, cancel me, please. I'm done. I don't want to do anymore. Here, they're in dominatrix outfits. Here, this one says Star Gentle Uterus. Like, just come on, can it already?
I feel like she got to a point where she was just like, what if I do this? You'll stop me if I do this? They're like, no. Yeah. She's like, really?
I mean, but you're a millionaire. Of course, we're not going to stop you.
I'm making light of it. There's actually some really good plot stuff that happens in Stars. It's just not my favorite.
No, and that's fair. Like, that was I have a couple of episodes from the early season that I love and enjoy watching. But for a good chunk of time where it's just Moon, Mercury, and Mars, count me out. I don't care. I don't want to watch them again. They're not exciting to me. And not just because Venus was my favorite, but, things get better when she shows up. That's all I'm saying.
I will say that my favorite, for about the same reasons as S. I feel like we've established the characters. The villain arc is really good. Like phenomenal as far as plot wise. And you get to complete all the planetary guardians, and Pluto comes back.
She's not just a shadow anymore.
And then I struggle between R and Super S as my second favorite, because Super S, I didn't watch as much, but the art style I felt like got an upgrade and everything was awesome. And the Dark Moon Circus is just like, oh, I love them, and Helios and all that. And like Emily, I haven't really watched Stars. I mean, I have it on DVD, so I don't have much of an excuse except, that's a lot to go through. And I read the manga maybe once or twice, so I'm far more familiar with the other story arcs.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's definitely. Yeah, give me Black Moon Clan, or I'm trying to think, what are all of their names? The Wicked Moon.
You have the Dark Kingdom, which is called the Negaverse in the English original dub. That's season 1. Season 2 is the Black Moon or Dark Moon, as Randall said, depending on, again, dub or sub. Then the third one is the evil. It's either the Witches 5, Death Busters, or Pharaoh 90. There's like a lot of names going on in that one. Or Mistress 9, like, and then season 4 is the Dead Moon Circus, but then it's also the Dead Moon, just Dead Moon. And then season 5 is the Sailor Wars. So that would be Sailor Galaxia and then her Sailor Animates. Nerd glasses push up.
Yeah. Okay. Also, like for this stuff specifically, there's a reason I am like, these are the people I will invite because they will know all of the information.
I will know all of the information.
Yes, which I very much appreciate.
I am so wholeheartedly just entrenched into this fandom. It's not healthy. It's not.
Yeah, so I am always going to go anytime I get to see Wicked Lady. I'm gonna be happy, and my boy is Sapphire. Like,
I didn't know you like Sapphire.
I love Sapphire. I have the most wonderful piece of artwork that Randall made that is framed, and it is a lovely headshot of Sapphire that has hung in my house since he gave it to me because I love him so much. Genuinely distraught at times during that season. So, but yeah, I loved the 4 sisters. I mean, even Rubius, he's a doofus, but I liked him.
He's a doofus.
He is a doofus. I was like, you are the least exciting member of this whole group. You know that, right, bro? Like, you
get to hang out with him the longest too. Like, why?
No, he hangs out forever. Yeah, and I was like, I don't care. I don't care about you. Yeah,
but you're a doofus.
You're a doofus. That's always going to be my favorite. I like so much of what happens during all of that.
That is fair. And I used to actually, that season, R, which is the second season with the Dead Black Moon, used to be my least favorite season. And I hated it and I didn't like it. And then I listened to the original sub. And that is the one season where the original Deke dub absolutely changes the plot of the whole thing. Like, really? Fully the plot is different. Well, not in like a huge way, but in like important ways. Like, one really big thing is in the dub, they're trying to catch Rini or Chibiusa, which is Sailor Moon's daughter from the future. You know, timey-wimey stuff.
Very wibbly wobbly.
But they're trying to kill her in the sub, and it makes certain interactions very different.
Interesting.
And they're like, oh, and also the reason they're looking for her in the dub is because they slip out that she has the silver crystal, which that actually ends up being a plot surprise towards the end of the season that they kind of like reveal too soon. So yeah, there's a lot of things that if you hated the original R second season, maybe watch the sub. It does change a lot. And then it also changes Rini Chibiusa's personality, so she's not nearly as dislikable.
She's so dislikable.
She's very, very, very dislikable.
That's why, again, as soon as she becomes Wicked Lady, I'm like, I'm in for this. She's so much better. Leave her like that. I don't care. Like, I don't think this is how I was supposed to take away from this season, but no, really. Yeah. Oh, it's funny. I will have to do that because yeah, for a season that I already liked, I feel like that would make me willing to, invest more in the subs. And I think with Sailor Moon, because I watched it already, because I'm familiar with the story, I won't be as caught up on having to watch all the animation and worried I'm missing text or vice versa. So I'd be able to get into it a little bit better. That's not how an ankle looks.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Also, can I tell you the number of times I draw stupid feet tucked up with like a bent leg like this? It never goes well. It goes poorly for me every single time, but I keep doing it.
Because one day when you get it and it looks right, oh my gosh, it's going to be like the best bent leg ever. And you're never going to go back to normal legs ever.
Meanwhile, you have me saying, hey, I drew legs. I drew beyond shoulders. Like, I'm going to take my pat on the back, and I don't care how broken she is.
Does anyone else feel, as an anime fan, that we are just doomed to draw that leg pose forever?
Yes.
The tucked up leg pose. It's like mandatory.
Yes.
Draw it. You don't like pose like that in front of the mirror. I don't stop just drawing it.
Can I tell you the amount of time I spent as a child trying to sit in that on the floor where your knees and your legs flat out to the side? And I'm like, this just hurts. How do people do? I just want to sit like a cute anime girl and I can't do it. Yeah. I mean, not me. Never me.
Did you ever like take the stick, wave it around, pretend it was magical?
Yes. Constantly. So many things could be magical. That was the beauty of it.
You're waiting for that one day that it actually came true.
Yes. Kept like intimately looking at my cats and be like, are you going to talk to me? Hey, are you going to talk? I know you want to.
I was like,
Mom,
when is the day
Emily's
that I
off
find
for
magical?
antidepressants.
I'm still waiting for that day I just come across a magical item laying in a forest or a parking lot somewhere. Like, why hasn't that happened yet?
Yep.
It was in Ben 10 of all things, but I really want it to be in a magical girl anime where he finds out. So Ben 10 is a show on Cartoon Network, and I guess it's like a magical boy show.
Sure.
He has a wristwatch that lets him turn into different aliens, and it's cool, and it's definitely magical boy canon. So he meets the creator of the magical watch that he gets, and he asks, I mean, they retcon this later, don't you worry, but he asks the creator, and he's like, oh man, you like chose me, right? Like this is destiny or fate, or like you chose, and he's like, no, you were an accident. I didn't mean for you to find this magical scientific weapon that now saves the world. This was totally not for you, but whatever, kid. Now you're stuck with it. So I just want like the magical girl one to be like, you save the cat or the bunny rabbit, or you find the magical item in the woods, and it's like, no, you weren't supposed to. That wasn't for you. Put it back.
Yeah. What are you doing? You are so unqualified for this. But I found it. That means it was me.
There is I mean, not to segue again, but there is an anime that kind of does that. It's not magical girl, it's isekai. And it's like the saint's power is omnipotent, I think is what it is. And she's brought into the world. You know, they summon her to the world because she's the saint that has the magical power that's going to save their realm, right? And she's like, oh man, it was fated. It's like, actually, we were bringing in that teenage cute girl over there with the pigtails. You are a 35-year-old office worker that we got for accident. Sorry. You're stuck here. We can't put you back in your own world. And we also didn't mean to summon you. You were an accident. Sorry. Sorry. That's an anime, by the way. So it's actually really good.
I feel like that's so much fun.
I know that was written for a very specific audience, and they targeted that. I mean, they got it. They got it. That was good.
I would love to see one, and I'm sure it already exists, but I would love to see one where the hero, like an RPG hero or something, is just completely incompetent and just kind of fumbles through the whole destiny thing and gets to the final bad guy, and the bad guy's like, are you serious right now? You're like a level 12. What are you doing
Aw.
here?
Like I can't kill you because that's just no.
Like, this
That's
is just
child
sad.
murder.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I'm a
Why?
villain, but I'm not that bad.
But like, how fun would that be? Like, if that's episode 1, where then they get sent out of the world, and you know that like the world gets crazy destroyed and things are really bad, and you like jump like 25 years and you catch up with them when they are in their 30s, and they still have this memory of all of that, but like then like bringing them back to the world or something and just being like, yeah, look, it was all destroyed, and like, I feel like that could be really fun, where they're just like, I couldn't do it then. I didn't know what to do. And
That's called trauma.
yeah.
It's like, I could do it now, but I guess it's too late.
Yeah.
You know, I was 13. What did you expect?
I feel like Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe might have done something like that, but I read and watched very little of it, so I can't speak to that.
Oh.
What
You
did
mean
they do?
when they when they return later, the two children, and yeah, it's been like 300 years or something, and the dynamics are completely different, and humans have basically ruined paradise? Yes, that does happen.
All I remember is Lion Jesus. That's all I remember.
Aslan. Absolutely. Oh God. I wore out my series.
You
when
mean
I was a kid.
Oh,
Aslan?
Aslan.
Oh, Aslan. Oh.
Yeah,
I tell
that
you
was
what,
one I
though.
never read those.
Did you read them all, or did you
Mm-mm.
just get through the Lion, the Witch?
I
and the
literally
Wardrobe?
just watched the movie.
Same.
That's what I did, and I didn't love it because the little guy who goes with the Snow Queen is such a little jerk face, where I'm like, I don't care. I don't want you back. No,
Edmund. Yeah.
he's the worst.
Oh, he is absolutely the worst. But
Hate
he
it.
also gets his comeuppance like in the same storyline, and he's a lot better later. But yeah, he's such a little twerp in the
so bad.
yeah, so bad.
My
And like
first-
they teased, hot Prince Caspian so hard, and I was just so done at that point. I'm like, no, not even that. Nope, not gonna. You can't get me. You fooled me before, and I'm out.
Not falling for that again.
My first exposure was the BBC miniseries,
Oh,
and that had like a really weird animatronic Aslan lion,
Oh,
and
yeah.
very different portrayal of certain characters. So when I watched the movie you guys are talking about, like it was very much like, okay, yeah, but the British miniseries had, actual British people.
what?
Unlike some Robin Hoods, I can speak with British accent. Oh man. No, I will definitely say that is
that is
a
an
favorite.
isekai. Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe is an isekai. People kept saying like, "Oh, Alice in Wonderland is the original isekai." It's like, no, it's Lion the Witch.
That's funny. Also, they have little dangly things from their wrists. Why? Why? Sorry, I'm done.
Like,
Just remember,
cosplay.
Em, you did not have to animate it.
I didn't have to animate it. I have to draw it once. That's it. Then I'm done.
Imagine having to cosplay it.
Nope. That would give me
Ooh.
nightmares. Also, they are not wearing very much. They are wearing bikinis.
All
so
you
no.
That's level 100 armor, right?
Yeah. Clearly not for them. They got knocked out so fast. They should have leveled. Also, I love it because at one point, he's talking as like, these are my best warriors. I'm like, you really shouldn't say that.
That's not something you should brag about, Nephrite.
No.
Poor
I'm like, they were
Nephrite.
exceptionally bad.
He was actually more competent of a villain than some of the other ones, though.
Yes. Yeah.
He was destroyed by love, not an airplane, Jedi.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Like, really? Airplane?
Really? Although I did love how much of a giant dickbag Kunzite is. Like, yeah. Like, you're just
Oh.
so good. But also, he's got the hair. Like, he earned that.
Randall, didn't I? Every time he was on screen, I just like flippy hair, flippy hair.
Yep.
I am obsessed with his flippy hair. I love his stupid hair.
Also,
And I
love
that
he
Mercury comments on it.
and he's got the open collar. He's just like, no, I'm not buttoning it. Look at this. Look at this chest. Look at my smooth chest.
I love him so much. He's
He's
just
fabulous.
He's a jerk. Sassy.
He's
So
very
sassy.
sassy. Yeah, he's so sassy.
Like, I mean, you think Zoisite's bad, and then Malachite steps up and he's like, or Kunzite, sorry. Kunzite.
No, I do the
It's
same
the
thing.
same.
I know
Also,
it's the same.
I was talking to Randall about something. It might have been this episode, or it might have been something else. And I was picking and choosing with some of them. Like I will always refer to him as Darian because he will always be Darian. But I called her Chibi Usa and like something else. And I was like, I like that you just made a mishmash of all of it. I'm like, yeah, that's that. I'm glad you can follow with what I'm saying into this.
It's like
It's a
special
sliding
code.
scale.
Yeah, it is code.
We have our own code.
Mm-hmm. And we don't even question it because we've seen everything. So it's like, oh, I didn't even notice because I know exactly what you're saying.
Yep.
I feel like she should have spikes on her elbows, but she doesn't. But I remember that she had to, and then I remember, oh, it was like a different version of her that was a bikini dragonfly that had the spikes.
Oh yeah, because they fly with like the spikes out their elbow, like or something, right?
Yeah,
Oh, it's been so long since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, so I like deep dived into some research for this episode. There's like multiple forms of these, and the spider version that I'm doing is the Glycinia, but they have different names for the snake one. There was one that had like a snake body.
Oh, the snake.
I remember the snake
ones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can find a reference. I'm looking because my brain didn't. Oh, I found her. Oh, she's even like weirdly sexier. What?
Oh, God.
Why was this a thing? Why did they all have to be in thongs? I just don't even.
It was definitely with like pantyhose and then like high rise like leotards. You're just like, why though?
Where's my interview with these designers? Why are they so?
I have so many questions.
Okay, so this is the other two versions. So I'm doing the spider one. This is the weird snake one, which is nearly identical, except that she has a thong before she has her snake.
How does
thighs.
that? What?
I don't know.
She's got a snake bottom skirt on that's just fallen down.
Hoist that up there, girl.
Yeah,
what
it's
are
like
you
I think
doing?
your buns are out, ma'am.
And then this is the weird, sexy. Oh, I thought she had wings, or maybe this one just doesn't have them. But she has even bigger shoulder pads, and then she has knives out of her elbows because that's what you cut people with.
Well, that's how you know she's leveled up. She's got the double
elbows.
shoulder pads, man.
Yeah.
This movie was so weird. Anyway, this movie was just a weird movie. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Yeah, I was hanging out with someone earlier this week and mentioned what we were doing tonight. And the consensus when talking about that movie was that was a weird movie. And also, can we talk about the gay erasure? Like, she totally cock-blocked him from his friend who just wanted to give him flowers.
Yep.
Oh, that was... all of them have such trauma. Poor trauma babies. But
so much.
It's like, I found someone who cares about me and I just want to give him a flower. And how do you corrupt something that pure and innocent, lady? Like, get out. Get out. Get out.
Nope, we're making it bad.
Why?
Because the power of love is actually evil.
Okay, but where are these things coming out of? That's what I want to know.
Don't ask that, Emily. We're just Sailor Moon villains. Don't ask that.
I don't understand.
Did you flag this for older audiences? Because
Do you want a PG-13? Because that's how you get PG-13.
well, I already said the chicken word, so I kind of ruined it there.
Chicken word.
All your stupid little details. Oh my goodness.
I hear you. They're stupid.
They are stupid. Hey, what up, Kurt? Thank you. Also going back, Simkin asks, have we seen Irresponsible Captain Tyler? It is an old sci-fi comedy anime.
I don't think I've ever even heard of it.
No, that one's one I don't know, like not even a little bit from name. So, but apparently Tyler is really incompetent. So he falls into the tropes that we like.
Hey, I'm all for the tropes. All right.
Dumb dummy.
I'm also for aptly named things. Like, you know what you're getting with incompetent Tyler. There's no doubting what his character will be.
He might be incompetent, but you can trust what he is.
You can trust that he will continue to be incompetent even when you don't want him to be. That's funny.
Emily, those are so fun.
Thank you. I felt bad because, like, I was having trouble with their poses because they do actually have some really cool poses just, like, on the internet. I was like, well, you can't try any of those. So, yeah, trying to give them a little bit of not just mirrored twin energy. So, yeah, but again, stupid healing foot. Right. Why are we wearing heels? Why are we wearing pumps to this fight?
I think they all do. It's like every character has to have earrings and heels.
Yep. Again, very much of its time.
Well, I mean, and also, by today's standards, if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, and they will drag you if you show up on the main stage and you aren't wearing some type of a heel.
I just like my flats, okay? They're nice to my feet.
I like feeling my bones at the end of the day.
I did wear high heels to the wedding. And then as soon as we got to about the third song where there was dancing, I said, nope. And I went to the car and I got my sneakers and I put them on. But I wore the heels for the rest of the time.
Oh.
You had a token wearing of heels.
Exactly. Got a cute picture. Counted it.
No one can say you didn't wear heels.
But yeah. I'm not jumping up and down in the heels. Mm-mm. It's just not, that's not in the cards for me. All right.
Where are my layers? There's my layers. No, there are no layers.
Also, there's going to be so many tangents in this last little bit, but you know what? Not by design.
I guess that's what we can say here. That's not my design.
Not my design.
Color theory's off. I'm gonna do it.
My excuse is just, oh, I don't draw anymore. I just came for the free food. And they didn't have any free food, so here I am.
Say in true Sailor Moon style, I just came for the free food. Also, the amount of times
and
I've
then
wanted
got drunk
to...
off of the juice, quote unquote juice.
The juice.
I've wanted to just run down the street holding my slice of bread in my mouth, and I always bite through it.
What kind of bread are they eating that it remains so structurally intact?
I like when it also like it is literally like flopping up and down with them as they run. I'm like, that's not how bread works. So good.
What am I doing?
Okay, so that's that line. Got that, got that.
No, I'm definitely just like lying on the how this looks to the original. That's fine. There's no way to make the underside of a spider lady not look weird or suggestive.
100%.
There's your PG-13 topic. I just can't.
Also, if you want to lean into the hard R, anyone who has read the comic book Saga, yeah, they didn't even try. They just leaned right into it, and I got to see a whole bunch of spider stuff that I was not prepared for. I actually think that was real. Mm-hmm.
Yep, no idea what you're talking about, but creepy spider stuff is my limit.
And I'm out. So, Kurt, I don't know if you're still lurking around, but were you an anime person at all? Was that anything you ever got into? Okay.
All right.
That. Okay. Let's try this.
I do have to thank these people for one thing in particular, and that is that they gave her basically an entire black bodysuit.
Oh, you can hide a lot with that.
Oh, I sure can, and I definitely will.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Oh, she's already trying with her cracked heart.
Like, I love it too. Like, it's not even like sitting like a tramp stamp and just showing the top. No. It is just flat out both cheeks. It is like a boob window for the butt.
Yep.
It is a butt window.
But orange, because we're classy here.
Absolutely.
It's an applique, not a cutout.
Yeah, gotta get that right.
Yeah, I'd love to know what the cosplayers do. I'm like, do you go booty? Or do you go pasty?
A lot of them do that, like, what's that? It's like that mesh, that flesh tone mesh.
Yep.
But I've definitely seen some that are brave and do it true to form. So, you know, good for them for having confidence and a lot of spirit glue.
I hear the police. They see what we're doing. Sirens are going off in the background.
Anime police.
Yeah, sorry. That's on my end.
No, you're good. I love it. It was perfect timing.
No, officer, I swear it's an applique.
She's of age. I swear.
Look, in her past life, she was an adult.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
So technically, she's like 300. So we're good.
Exactly.
We're good.
Exactly.
It's not as weird as it looks. It's art. It's culture. It's fine. It's just
officer, it's fine.
Just tell him that.
Man, where is he who is Steven? We need him.
Right?
I feel like this conversation was built for him.
And Hebe Buffet.
I know. I'm very disappointed that they aren't here.
Yeah, Hebe's had a lot going on lately.
Their June has been bonkers.
Mm-hmm. No. Should I? Oh, I'm going to.
I loved living through that thought process just now. Should I? Yes.
I'm improving her design. I'm giving her hearts on her calf muscles.
Yeah.
I'm going to chalk it up to animation budget. They meant to do this.
You're just doing God's work. Animation God's work.
I was going to say which god. I don't know if I'd want to...
Oh, this is definitely the Satan.
Hail Satan. Oh,
I remember.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I remember one time when Sailor Moon was on Toonami, and I was watching it, and then my mom comes in the room, and normally that wouldn't be such a weird thing, except it was the episode, it was from the first season, and it was later in the first season when the monster of the day is a woman with snowmen as her boob covers.
I
Like-
looked
like
at her.
that one.
I almost pulled her because I was like, no.
And up to that point, there hadn't been that many goofy villains, and then this one shows up, and it's like the first thing that my mom sees when she walks in. And I mean, granted, I'm old enough to be watching that kind of stuff. Sounds like a bad sentence, but
Nope. Mom, I'm old enough for snowman titties. Let me have them.
I'm old enough for snowman titties, I promise. So
It could be worse. It's just snowman titties, Mom.
I promise, Mom, it's fine. It's just it's a good show. It has a plot. I swear it has a plot. No, you don't understand. This is the episode where like they mistake Rey as the Moon Princess. No, it's important to the plot. I have to keep watching. Anyway,
It's about girl power.
It's about girl power. So yeah, that happened. That was embarrassing as all heck.
Oh my god.
Oh.
She didn't comment, by the way. I know no one asked, but she didn't say anything. She watched it. She's like, oh, I'm going to be interested in the things my daughter's interested in. And then she like sat and she watched it. And then she left. And we never talked about it. Not once.
That's how you know it's an embarrassing story. She never talked about it.
And we never spoke of it.
She's not like, is this something interesting? It was, nope. I was like, no, I swear, it was just that one episode. But then it wasn't.
Yeah.
That was goofy, I mean, but... Anyway. So, how embarrassing was your first time? John, I'm sharing a hotel room with someone, and apparently I just killed him with that.
Oh, I think my parents just like, peeked in and was like, oh no, it's anime, and just like walked away.
Yeah.
I think they also thought I would grow out of it.
Hoping. I know mine were hoping.
Joke's on you. I just got worse.
Because I knew I make a living on this shit now.
Mm-hmm.
It's forever.
Yup.
Oh my god. Okay. That's fine. Ugly as brown.
Yeah, there are times where I really want to know, like, just pulling the colors from the character design sheet. I'm like, these are ugly, but I don't remember them being that bad, like in the episode.
I think it has to do with the age, though, of like it being hand painted cells, and they were limited on like the kind of color, plus probably deteriorated screen caps over time, and
Yeah.
so everything's a little muted. But then our brains are just like, no, it's a cartoon; it's saturated.
Yeah. My brain was definitely adding saturation. I am positive of that.
Mm-hmm. I still actually, when I watch certain things, will go and turn up the saturation on stuff just because I'm like, I know you might not have intended this, but I like it, and it looks better this way, so we're doing it.
Yep.
Not like those monsters who leave motion smoothing turned on their TVs.
Nope. That's so bad. I hate it.
It makes me nauseous.
It makes me so sick to my stomach.
I remember I was at a friend's house or something, and I didn't know what motion smoothing was. Like, that was a feature that TVs had. And I thought that the TV was broken. And they believed me. They're like, my TV's broken. I was like, yeah, you can't tell. And they're like, no, it looks fine to me. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's broken. Then they went on believing it was broken. They never figured out that I just didn't know what nice technology they had.
Yeah, there was friends of mine, because people always say, they're like, no, it's really good for sports. And I remember like being at someone's house on a Sunday trying to watch football, and I'm just like, I'm going to be sick to my stomach. Like, this is terrible. Please make it stop.
Yeah, I don't know who thought that was a good idea in the first place.
Nope.
Makes all the old stuff look so weird too. Like,
Yeah.
Ugh.
And what kills me is people, just like Kristen said, will have it on, not even realizing, like, that it does not register to them at all that there's something wrong with the way it looks.
Yeah.
Do you
Again,
think
just-
that could be like an eye test? Like a quick eye screening? Like, what is wrong with this TV? Nothing. Okay, go to the eye doctor. He'll see you now.
Yeah.
Like, you have those color tests to see if you're colorblind. You also have to have the motion test to make sure, like, you're not one of those people that puts motion smooth on a TV. Save you
Yes.
from yourself.
Absolutely.
All right. So, we're all pretty sure that we would all just be like fodder if we lived in the Sailor Moon universe, right? We're all like just the fodder for the villains.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'd be like, ooh, free ice cream. And that'd be the end.
I would love a little, like, funny... it probably worked best as a webcomic, but, like, a single person in Tokyo who just keeps getting caught up in all of the things. Like, anytime... There was one episode I watched fairly recently where they go to the fun park, and they suck up all their energy, and all these people, just want to go to the park for the day. And, like, so it's just them, like, consistently getting into these places where bad things are happening. And
What show is it? Oh, it is kind of a magical girl. It's Miraculous Ladybug. It's not a like weird thing. Like, the entire town knows, oh, there's a villain and he steals our energy or turns us into monsters, and it's like they know about it, and they have like weather reports of like, and today there was another akumatizing. And I just felt like that would have been really like nice for the Sailor Moon, because you can't hide that shit forever.
no.
Like, where was that? Where's the PSA? Her dad's a reporter. He's not doing his job.
Yeah. Also, the absolute unhinged nature that is Miraculous Ladybug, I love so dearly. I
didn't know that you watched it.
Yeah. And I definitely don't think I watched it like in the correct order at all, but I'm just like, I don't think it matters because yeah, no,
Kind of doesn't. No, kind of doesn't.
But also, again, we'll say, I think all of us have watched enough Magic Girl stuff where I'm like, no, I understand how this works.
You don't need to explain it. I'm there. I accept.
Yeah.
What you're dishing out
I'm already in. You don't have to sell me. I'm in.
Like, just let's have crazy villains and a good time. And when does the romance happen? How many episodes are there? Because it's not until the last 3. I'm here.
Yep. Give me the will they, won't they. Give me secret identities. Give me cute transformations every season, every episode. Done. I'm in.
Well-timed amnesia, the whole shebang.
Yeah. Gotta have some amnesia. Yep.
So what I'm hearing is we're going to do an episode about our miraculous OCs, is what I'm hearing.
I would love that.
Oh, can we?
Also, can we talk about how catchy that theme song is?
It was really catchy.
Oh God, it's going to get stuck in my
head. Now, not to pull another kerfuffle like I did with The Last Unicorn, but do you know the history of... So, do you know the 2D Miraculous Ladybug?
I don't. I only knew about it because I saw something on YouTube that was talking about the French studio that was animating it and how that was like a big deal. And like I remember watching maybe like a 6-minute thing that talked about it, and that was how I kind of got familiar with it. And then it showed up on Netflix. So that's my path. Tell me more.
I do not know that there is a 2D version.
So there, I mean, you can look it up on YouTube. So you just type in like Miraculous Ladybug PV, and it was a French-Japanese studio that did a short 2D, very anime style 2D of Miraculous Ladybug. And this was the first time Miraculous Ladybug was introduced. This is long before the 3D. And in fact, they did this as a pilot. And then they're like, man, this is too expensive. Let's go 3D. So originally it was not supposed to be 3D. It was supposed to be 2D. And it was supposed to be in a very different style. And her outfit is slightly different. And Cat Noir is like vastly different in his look. His mannerisms too, because he was a very different personality. He was this very like pompous sort of character. And then as Cat Noir is a lot more like goofy.
Yeah.
But he also wasn't called his human or whatever you want to say civilian name was Felix. And then in the 3D, they actually put the original version of Cat Noir from the animated one as Adrian's cousin, Felix. So if you were wondering where Felix came from and why he was a twin in that one episode, it's because he is from the PV. And then, of course, there's the episode with the director of the Miraculous Ladybug movie, that in the Miraculous Ladybug TV show, there is a movie about the characters. And that animation style is the original animation style from the pilot. So the point is that the 3D Miraculous Ladybug we all know and love actually has a ton of nods to the original 2D.
Oh my God.
That it was supposed to be. And it was a very different plot, but it was very, very cool. And you should go watch it because that theme song, which is the whole reason I was bringing it up of why you saw it, because that theme song is amazing.
Yes.
It's still on my phone, and I still play it fairly often.
I love all of that so much.
So, yeah, after you're done, you should definitely type in Miraculous Ladybug PV.
Go down the Miraculous Ladybug hole.
You.
Down the bug hole.
When I first found the PV, I stalked the production company, like literally followed everything they did. And it was in French, so I had no idea what they were saying. But I wanted this show so bad. And then when I found it was coming in 3D, I was a little disappointed. But then obviously I watched it and I loved the show.
Yeah.
It's just really cute.
I could see that.
Crazy to me, though, that
and
the
bizarre.
3D was cheaper.
I think because of how many episodes they wanted, in the long run, it was cheaper. Also, I don't know how much the studio was charging, so. Because the studio now is a French studio, I think. Either way.
Save your work if you haven't already.
Hey, thanks.
I have not. at all, even once.
Thank you. Yes. My partner's little girl is obsessed with Ladybug, and it makes me very happy. She is 6, and I'm like, we can watch this together. That's good with me.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I remember one of the first times I went over to the house, and she was asleep at the time, but I saw in her toy box. I was like, she has miraculous Ladybug action figures, and he's just like, yeah, it took us a really long time to find those, and I was very delighted.
They had Miraculous Ladybug at the Halloween store this past Halloween costumes.
Yep.
They definitely did not have any in my size, but you better believe I looked. Not the point. The point was that I did buy all the like little props, and now I have little plushies of Plag and Kiki, and I just love them so much. Little plushies. They're super cute.
I love
and
this.
really good for like Halloween store quality.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So funny enough, I actually was looking at those Halloween costumes, trying to find the biggest little big girl costume that I could find to wear for Halloween.
You were gonna be the bee, right? Queen bee?
No, like Ladybug. I was gonna
for Ladybug.
Yeah. Just because I thought, how ridiculous would it be to see this 35-year-old man in a miraculous Ladybug costume made for 8-year-olds.
Although slight spoiler, Randall, because I know you haven't watched all of Miraculous Ladybug, but at one point, Adrian does get the Ladybug Miraculous, and he turns into Bug Boy. that's his name.
Oh no!
No, his costume changes a little slightly, but yeah. So if you had just wanted to do blonde hair, just be Bug Boy.
Never, because all the gays do blonde hair.
Be different.
They'd be asking me if I was having a crisis.
Sailor Moon says, "Be yourself."
So good.
See, for those that don't know, back in the 90s, TV had a certain amount of like educational content it had to have. But with these Japanese shows coming over, they didn't have any educational content built into it, so they had to create these little segments at the end. And this one was called Sailor Moon Says.
Sailor Moon Says.
And they're so ridiculous.
And they're so
They are
stupid because they're just
fantastic.
ham-fisting a moral in that did not fit with the story of that day at all.
No.
Yep.
Laid over a clip from the show, and it's like, this has nothing to do with
Yeah.
it. Okay, sure, I'll eat my vegetables.
Be honest. Don't be a flake.
And
Make sure that you always say
sometimes-
please and thank you.
And sometimes it was clips that they had like cut out of the show, and you're
Yeah,
like,
I
wait,
wasn't even
how
in the
did-
show.
I don't
I
remember
wasn't
that.
in this
What?
episode. Yeah.
Lies.
Yeah, I love the one like in the episode, like I think Nephlite goes like speeding by in his car and like, it's always important to watch where you're going and obey the traffic. And you're just like, what?
No, you're right. That exact episode is the episode that Randall was kind of when he brought up that sometimes they were clips that cut out.
Mm-hmm.
That Sailor Moon said he hit, I forget who it was Mercury or someone, but he hit one of them and they rolled off the hood of his car.
Yeah.
And they
It was
cut that from
Mercury,
the show,
yeah.
but it showed up in the
Yeah,
Sailor
like,
Moon Says section.
In the show, there's this really hard cut where all of a sudden she like jumps and then she's like tumbling and it's very weird. Yeah. So, yep.
But they definitely keep her getting hit in the Sailor Moon Says. Super, super funny.
It's so good.
For all the little ones that didn't know what we had to deal with back in the day.
Uh-oh, we're exposing the secrets. Now they're coming for us for
Oh,
a
no.
start.
I'm not even near the ground floor. They're just that loud.
The Deke police are coming after us.
I can mute myself if it's really bad.
No, you're good. I think it's funny.
It's not a smoke detector. It's
It's not. That's our new season. It's no longer smoke detectors, now just police sounds.
We have upgraded.
Yeah.
right. Sailor Moon
sounds are-
says, "Get your smoke detector."
Check
Always
your
make sure.
battery.
I'm pretty sure that's one of them too. Always check your smoke detectors.
I
and
think
carbon
it
monoxide.
is. And it's like the scene that they use is like at some point someone is in the kitchen cooking and there's smoke that comes out of it. Like that's the clip that they reference. And Oh god, it's just so ridiculous.
But it's our ridiculous, and
It
I'm okay
is.
with it.
It is.
Power Rangers did the same thing. I remember.
Oh,
So
did
remember,
they?
kids, when you're asking, what is wrong with the older generation?
The answer
This
is
is it.
so much.
The answer is forced education into our children's content.
Also,
We
while
weren't allowed to do
simultaneously being sold toys like crazy. Like hardcore advertising for capitalistic gains, as well as, but remember, children. Like, what?
Stranger danger bad, unless they're selling you a 12-part action set with built-in accessories.
And that somehow allows you to eat cookies for breakfast. You
Yep.
know, it has a little cookie dispenser at the top somewhere.
Yep.
Oh,
And-
and the gems that Velcro stick to her dress.
Oh God.
Also, don't forget, if you don't turn off your faucet while you brush your teeth, you're a monster who's making the planet die.
You will drain the pond with that one little fish in it, and he will die.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Oh my god.
Maybe that's why so many of us all have, like,
Anxiety?
yeah, I was going to say, like, shared trauma from these infomercials and things from the 90s, like the after school specials telling us that, we're going to all destroy the planet if we don't put that yogurt container in the bin, or,
Look, Elmo, Sailor Moon, and I don't know, Sonic all told me the same thing. I have to save the Earth by throwing this in the right bin.
Yep.
And then we grew up and found out it was all a lie, and they don't actually do anything with the things we put in those bins.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
We
like,
are
it's
not
actually,
personally responsible.
It's actually corporations all along.
Uh-huh.
Hooray!
It's one big Scooby-Doo episode. Guess what?
Oh, awesome.
It was old man capitalism all the time.
It always is.
Always is. Also, what up, Hebe? Says hi, Moonies. Power Rangers had to tell people not to punch their grandmas after each episode. They were right.
Oh. I mean, maybe she deserved it some days, let's be honest.
You don't know my grandma. Don't be judging.
On top. Don't care. Don't care about the anatomy. Give up.
That's the spirit.
There's my drag name.
Give up.
No, anatomy.
That's so good.
That's a really good
like
drag
it.
name.
Actually, I said if I ever did do drag, which I wouldn't, because I've seen the torture that Hebe goes through. My name would be Apple Asia.
I like it.
She has red eyes. Why does she have red eyes? Super weird.
So she's evil.
But like, it's the sclera of her eye that's red, not her like pupil.
So she's extra evil.
I guess.
It's
She's got that-
seeped. Yeah, it's seeped into the sclera of her eyes. That's how evil she is.
It's the terrible Shan Yu disease from Mulan, where you're just like, that's not how eyes are supposed to look. What is wrong with this human? Oh no!
All right.
Hebe can't believe that none of us are drawing the tennis ball monster.
Oh,
I almost went with the big lady who is just a tennis shoe coming out of her middle. I like that one.
yeah.
I flip-flopped on the race car.
Oh man, that one. Whew.
Or just the one with the tire. coming out of her body.
Also, it's in a weird place. Like how they drew. I'm like, that's not right.
And then her
Nope.
honkers are like the headlights. It's so good. They knew what they were doing.
That's from S, isn't it?
It
That
sure
one?
is.
Yeah.
S
I
is
think
like
when
the
they-
zaniest season, I swear.
It is because when they win, okay, we're done trying to pull like mythological creatures and animals and all this weird stuff and Yoma. What could we pull from? And I could just see the one guy going, what about like everyday objects? Like if we did like a phone booth and they're like, let's go crazy with it.
Let's make
What
a
does a
vacuum
sexy
cleaner
car
lady.
look like?
Yeah.
There's one episode where I think it's in S, and one of the villains is, I think she's at a dartboard, or she starts stuffing random things into the monster generator. And I feel like that's probably exactly what the creators did. They just like had a dartboard of random everyday objects, and they're like, what are we gonna base our monster off of this week?
Also, all I can think of is the assignments that we had in college where you had to produce like 25 characters from the kitchen. And by the okay, so the first like 12 to 15, you're like, yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm trucking along. And then you're like, there's nothing left in the kitchen. Like, there's no other things. And the whole, like, the specific professor that we had for that was like, you can't just put googly eyes on things, which I would like to go back and be like, apparently you can. So, ma'am. But yeah, you're just like, you get to a point where you're like, I don't know anymore.
Hey, Emily, hey, I'm having enough trauma today. Did you not bring up college flashbacks for me? That'd be
Did you
great.
not stab me in the heart with
Could
that?
you tone it down with the
Oh,
regression?
don't worry. If you stab her in the heart, I have plenty. I can share.
On that note, guys, I am going to be right back.
Okay. Amazing. Also,
Take your
thank
pick.
you. Thank you for the follow, Fifth of Daybreak. We appreciate you. Oh, and I missed. Okay, so see, this is the bad part about StreamYard. I missed a save your work from Simkin. Nope, I missed a hydrate yourself from Simkin, a save your work from Hebe, and a hydrate yourself from Hebe, and a stretch. So I owe you a whole bunch of hydration and stretching.
Stretching felt good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, my hydration is vodka.
I don't need it all the time. So obviously
Vodka?
this isn't
Do we need to discuss? Do you have a problem that you want to bring to the group?
It's nothing you don't already know about, Randall. Let's be honest.
Oh, the burn.
I was gonna say, to the whole like stretching hydrate thing, sometimes it'd be nice to add in unclench your jaw.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I don't know if anyone else has that issue.
100%.
Yeah.
There are times at night when I'm like trying to wind down, and sometimes when I'm just doom scrolling through TikTok, and one of the ads about like, hey, you've been going for a while, maybe stop. Like, she's like, okay, like unclench your jaw. And I have that moment where all of a sudden I realize how long I've been holding my jaw tight. I'm like, oh no. But it hurts when I unclench it. That made it worse. Okay. I'm good on this layer, so I don't have to redraw that again.
Sometimes I'll have a headache and I won't know why. And then I realize it's because I have my jaw clenched.
Mm-hmm.
And if I just unclench it, it just immediately, instantly vanishes, the headache.
We're all super good at this. So, yep.
Good at destroying our bodies? Yes.
Yes. I've been perfecting it for years.
So perfect. Won't be too many more years. That's how perfect I've been destroying it.
I'm extremely efficient. Thank you.
Oh, dark.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh, also, I like that Hebe said, with all the crazy monsters. That's how you know that season was the Utena guy. I was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's where the car monster came from. Oh, that makes sense now.
Also, I think it was a Family Guy like clip, which is very unusual because there's not a lot of Family Guy that I genuinely find funny. But I feel like they were talking about Stephen King and all of the different like bad guys that he has had. And so he's in like his editor's office. He's like, it's a lamp, and you're scared of the lamp. Like, that's all I could think of when we were talking about, like just looking at random things. Be like, and now it's a shoe. Oh, bad shoe monster.
It does feel like that.
No, now it's a person on a horse pogo stick. Or it's a computer, or it's a flashlight.
It's a
Super
Mr.
weird.
Coffee.
Oh,
Where was that episode?
Not Mr. Coffee.
Well, I guess then it would be turned into a Miss Coffee.
Yes. That was the thing, too, where I was looking. I was like, I know that there were one or two male villains, but the monsters of the day were very infrequently.
I think it was to avoid any sort of like issues.
Okay.
I don't know that 100%, but I think it's like, oh, girls attacking girls are, less weird for a magical girl episode. But most of the male monsters of the day came from male villains, and most were female.
Mm.
Because, like, I know of the trio, Fish Eyes were always male, but Tiger's Eye and Hawk's Eye were always female.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's true.
they did the opposite, yeah.
Because all I remember is the really dumb Nutcracker guy, and I think that's actually the one when Minnie Moon says, "Is it just me, or do these guys keep getting goofier?"
Also, Fish Eye has my second choice that I did not do but was thinking about, which is the villain that just dresses up like Pegasus.
Yes.
It's just in a Pegasus costume. It's just a dude in a horse costume, and I love it. It's so stupid. I love it so much. But yeah, all of Fish Eyes are male, and then all of Hawk's Eye and Tiger's Eye are female. And then I feel like it's that way with a couple others.
Yeah, I can't think of too many from the early ones, except for like the rainbow crystals.
Which don't really count, yeah.
Yeah.
I know there are more, I just can't remember. I don't know if there's any in S that are male.
Villains?
Monsters of the Day. Specifically. Monsters
Yeah, we
of
were
the
trying
Day.
to figure out, because we were talking about one of the villains being a Mr. Coffee and how it'd have to be a Mrs. Coffee. And then we're like, were there? Like, I just don't remember a lot of male monsters.
There had to be some, but maybe it was in Super S.
There were, that is what we said. They were in Supers. It was all of Fish Eyes were male.
Oh, there were some in Stars too, but I mean, those are kind of the same deal as the rainbow crystals, because it was like regular people that got turned.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the rainbow. Oh, I forgot all about the rainbow crystals in the original.
I think Nephilim and Jedi also had, but again, they turned people evil rather than the monsters being separate entities.
Or it was just like, here, fight a lion.
They don't like us talking about this again. They send another.
We're giving away all of the secrets today.
I know that. Well, there's one, and then there's the one where there's the girl who is the like pink lion thing, which was. Do you remember her?
Oh yeah, we watched that episode actually.
Yep.
Okay, so recap that one for me, because I literally don't remember any of it.
That is Lita or Minako Jupiter's. That's her like kind of special episode where you meet like an old
It-
friend of hers, and the villain is just a giant pink lion that's supposed to be the constellation Leo.
Oh.
And that's
Well,
from-
see, I don't know about that though, because like not all of the Cardians follow that formula, but Nephilites definitely did. Because
Nephilites,
like,
yeah.
yeah, because I mean Emily, she's doing the Gemini twins, so
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
are the twins, and specifically
those
like,
were the
points to
Zodiac.
sky.
yeah.
So Nephlite followed the Zodiac. The Cardians from the Doom Triarch followed the constellations. No, flip it. Nephlite followed constellations. They followed because they also had Taurus and all that. So the Cardians were Zodiac. So that Leo from the constellation versus Leo from the astrology. For some reason, that's different. But yeah, there were two lions called Leo. One was Nephilites, and that was just a blue lion. And then one was a pink lion with boobs. And that was from Cardian R series, and that was supposed to be the constellation. And yeah, so it talks in the Japanese, I think, but in the English dub, it just roars with a very, very manly voice.
That's amazing.
Super manly voice, but it does not cut away from lion tits. Which my mom didn't see that episode, so it was okay. So
so good. Mm.
Emily, if you recall any of the music from the show, that's also the episode when the song Rainy Day Man played.
I thought
yeah.
so. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Rainy Day Man episode.
That's probably the best way to remember it. Yeah, I should have said that.
No, you're good. No, because as soon as you said Lita, and I was like, okay, I vaguely remember this thing, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's that one, because that CD had just straight up bops.
It did. It didn't need to have as good music. Like, people love to complain about the Deke dub, but it had really good music.
It had really good music.
I know for Randall and I know some of our other Sailor Moon fans disagree, but I think Randall and I, we both kind of prefer the Deke music on a lot of things over the original.
Which is kind of a tricky territory, because then when you do get to the ones that weren't Deke, they were using the original music for the most part. So it's like, okay, I kind of like this, because then I get a mix of both.
Like, for example, I love My Only Love much more than what they originally had.
Oh my gosh, yes. I went back and rewatched that episode because that's always been one of my favorite episodes. And the song was different. And can I tell you the amount of like rage? I was like, this scene doesn't hit nearly as hard. Like, that's an emotional scene. And so I ended up went to YouTube and found that episode. I was like, I just need this.
Oh, you were watching the new dub.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, when they use the original music now.
And it's just so meh. Like, it's just this little, like, dee, 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 dee. So I'm like, what? What? Where is my, like, soaring guitar and, like, sad synth? Like, what are you doing?
Because it starts with, like, a drum. Do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
And, like, it gets you, man. It gets you in your heart.
Yeah.
Funny you should say that, because the very first episode that I watched of Sailor Moon was that episode when she was like revealed to be the Moon Princess. And because before that, I thought it was just this like stupid show with dumb looking monsters that didn't really have any plot. And I remember I was watching like Thundercats or whatever came on before that, and I left the TV on, and it was that episode, and I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah, that episode is so good.
I've always kind of hated you that was your first episode. Which is actually a good question. What was everyone's first episode?
Oh.
Mine was the Masquerade episode. And I think that's why, as janky as that animation is, I love that episode so much.
Oh, man. I have to really. Okay. Well,
Okay.
and I'm trying to remember if it was like because I remember seeing like promos or clips of like Toonami was promoing stuff, so like I have a couple of those promos really stuck in my head. Let me see if I can. All right.
Would it be easier to say like, oh, what's the episode that hooked you?
Oh, that's probably good. Now I'm curious.
I was gonna say, thinking about it, I can't tell you the first episode I saw because I was so young. I know Sailor Neptune just like took my breath away because it was my favorite color. She was all teal. She's got the ocean and the wind blowing her hair, and I was just like, I don't know what's happening, but I like her.
Mermaid Lady is my favorite.
Mermaid Lady. But I do know that the first English episode I saw was Makoto or Lita's introduction. So the first episode where, Usagi's like, oh, you made a cute little lunchbox. And, she's like, yeah, you want. And she's like, I'm starving. I forgot my lunch. And she's like, oh, we could share. And I'm like, this is so cute. I love this.
So wholesome.
So wholesome. And then there's like monsters and weird things. And I'm like, oh, I remember this now.
Oh my gosh.
Still wholesome, sort of.
Still wholesome. Especially when they give you after credit school promo or safety tips.
Yeah.
Don't run with scissors.
Don't hit people with cars.
Also, I like the very difference in severity of the lessons that they did not care about. Like, one of them is like, make sure you turn in your homework, and the other one is like, try not to burn down your family's home.
The weird ones were when they always had to talk about like if an adult talks to you in a way you don't like and you don't feel safe, but then it was on a super goofy episode.
Yeah.
Just like there is a tonal dissonance here.
Yeah. Okay, so can I be super lame? And I double checked it just because I was like, no, it can't be. But the one that I most vividly remember, so I don't know if it's the only one I had like recorded on VHS and then I watched back a whole bunch, is literally episode 1, which I know is stupid, but I was like, yeah, it's the one at the jewelry shop with the lady who's got the, like, she's fine, then she turns to the scary face, and I'm like, which one is that one I'm looking at? I was like, oh no, it's just Super episode 1. That's just what it is. But like, somehow managed to catch that. I don't think I watched a lot of other season 1 in order. Like, I feel like I got to Venus and Jupiter much faster than you actually do. So somehow I managed to jump to them because I was all in on Venus. And like at any time Sailor V was kind of teased, like that got me really excited because I was excited about that. But yeah, I either watched that first episode and then missed a whole bunch or somehow managed to get to all 5 scouts together much quicker than they meant. I'd also love to know, like, what Toonami's scheduling was for it. And just when I was catching it. And, I mean, I know there was a lot of, like, programming the VCR to record at a specific time.
Yeah, I did that.
So
I learned how to program a VCR. No one else in the house knew how to, but I learned because I wanted to record all. And I think I still have the VHSs. And in fact, Emily, I think I still have your VHSs. You sent them to me, I think.
I believe it. Yeah, because that was one where I was like, no, I want these out of the house. I'll never want to go back and watch these. Little did I know.
You sent me that, and you also sent me the Sailor Moon tabletop RPG book.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I do. And I remember being so disappointed because I got that book and I read it and read it and read it and read it and did not understand because no one in my friend group played tabletop RPGs. no one that I knew played Dungeons and Dragons, and I didn't understand how to play this game. But I read that book so much, and then, finally admitting defeat, where I'm just like, I will never play this. So, yep.
And we did for like 3 weeks.
We did. We made characters.
I was gonna say, how were the game mechanics? Like,
It was not like regular D&D. They used just multiple 6-sided dice. So it was,
Okay.
if you've ever played the Conan RPG, it's much like that.
okay,
But other than that, like the character stats were a little different. How you had to choose and create a character, but it had a lot of like similar mechanics if you play any type of tabletop game. So it wasn't like so foreign that we couldn't figure it out. It was just like, oh, this is a little different.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the idea of it was pretty fun. Like there's a lot of different ways to make the character you wanted to make.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, for our campaign, we actually had it set up so that it took place in the future Moon Kingdom.
Oh,
So, yeah, it was kind of neat. Like we had, the like Sailor Mercury's kid was one of the characters.
If you're talking about Eric's character, it was Sailor Venus, I think.
Yeah, but Sailor Mercury's kid was also there, and didn't they also call him like Wanky Mercury?
Maybe. I don't remember that part, but I believe that with that group.
Yeah.
also, I've learned, when in doubt, trust Randall's memory, because it is 1,000% better than mine, and he will remember. He's like, yeah, you remember this. I'm like, nope, I don't. But I'm glad you do.
Always and forever, because I remember when he knew my schedule better than I did. Like, oh, let's go do this. Don't you have class in an hour? I do?
I do.
Welcome to why I'm single all the time, because it's really creepy.
I mean, beneficial for us. Just saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I appreciate
Thanks, Randall.
that about our friendship. All right, which leg has the thing? Okay, this leg.
Also, I kind of hate that the part that I'm working on right now is just giving me the vibes of the one character lady. She does a lot of videos on Instagram about like the Fosse moves and stuff.
Yeah.
Barbara Dixon, as her
Yeah.
character is called. I'm just like, oh, I've got her in like one of those black tight Fosse outfits.
Really funny.
Now I just hear in my head, Fosse.
Every time.
Martha Graham.
Twyla. So good. I'll tell you, there are definitely still like some parts of that movie that are a little problematic, but it is still really friggin' funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not mind rewatching it.
Wait, which movie is this?
Birdcage.
Oh, yes.
Like, you cannot get a better duo playing off of each other of Nathan Lane and Robin Williams. And then you get Hank Azaria in there, and it's just like, oh my gosh. It's so good.
It's one of those movies that, yeah, even though dated and problematic in some areas, it's like, no, but it's still good. Like the parts that are good,
Yeah,
so good,
they're so good.
almost makes it worth it.
Well, like, and I didn't remember this from being a kid and watching it. Like, I think he's a governor. Like, the person who wants to become engaged to Robin Williams' son, her dad is a Republican. And so, like, there's all of this stuff where he's like, yeah, this guy's getting involved in a sex scandal, and we're supposed to be this party. And I was just like, oh, okay. But, it is such a small part of it that it kind of still works with the comedy. So. And super young Ally
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, wow. Huh, didn't put that together.
What is her actual name? That's not her name.
Callista Flockhart,
Thank you.
because she was also in Supergirl,
Yes, she was.
and a lot of people hated her, but I liked her.
Weren't you supposed to hate her?
I mean, yeah, it's Cat Grant. Like,
I was like, I thought that was the point. Oops. Left leg. Okay, yes. All right, I'm starting to realize, I think, why these characters got knocked out so fast. Because trying to draw them together and figure out, like, this one has a triangle that points up, this one has a triangle points out. Like, no, I'm done with this. Kill them off. Just fewer frames with these characters.
Animators like, you have 5 minutes of these guys on screen, and then they're done.
And they're done. Yep. And we're going to do a whole bunch of close-ups from their shoulders up.
and just still shots.
Yep.
They fire off their attacks, and then you get a still shot.
Or I love, like, it's a really cool, like, angle shot where you're worm's eye view looking up at them, but the frame is just moving. Like, it's just rotating, but it looks like they're moving, and, like, there's a few, like, jutted lines going on top of it. Like, no, it's action. And you're like, oh, but you didn't actually draw anything.
I caught you. I know what you did.
I know what you did there. But as a kid, I never saw it. Oh, why would you draw it on that layer?
Pretend it's like a real piece of art that you can't actually just change the layer.
Oh, that just sounds awful.
Acrylic painting, who?
I successfully did that recently and didn't want to kill myself the whole time. So.
Oh, acrylic painting?
Yes.
Cool.
Which paint? It is paint. I painted so it's a record album, but it's a twofer. So it opens up, so it's got 2 insides and 2 outsides. So for their wedding, I designed and painted them that. So.
Wow. So fancy.
Yeah.
Also pressure because you had to do it for someone else.
Uh-huh. And of course, like so many things, I didn't start working on. I had the idea for a while, didn't start working on it until I'm just like, oh no. This is going to take
until the panic well sets in.
Yeah. Yeah. Much like the sketch cards that Megan referred me for. And I was just like, oh, I have to finish those before I fly to Texas. Shit. But I got them done. I got them done.
Yay!
And they looked nice. Just, I got up the one day and I was like, oh my God, my back hurts so much because I've been sitting in this position for so long. Bad, Emily.
Yeah, it's a rough ride, but they're worth it.
Yeah, at the end of it, I was very happy. And after I got them inked and I was markering them, I was like, this is actually kind of fun. So.
What are they then?
It was I don't know how much we're allowed to say. I'm going to defer to you.
Oh, well then, yeah, don't.
No, you're good.
Well, so it's a set of sketch cards. So they follow different themes. And I invited Emily because I thought this one would be super fun. But we'll be able to talk about it more when the set releases.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't want to make you break any contracts. On my account.
I appreciate that.
Oh no, it's fine. It's a lot of fun to like break out the markers instead of the digital art all the time and be like, I remember what drawing on actual paper feels like, and oh no, I made a mistake. Oh God, what do I do?
I was gonna say you say fun, but you don't mean it.
No.
The words you say and the words I hear
Let's
They
just say there are a
words.
few tattoos drawn on this round because there was some smudging. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, Hebe says, "Come on, NDA." Nope. Nope. I still want to get paid. Yeah, I think that was like simultaneously really amazing because the sketch card is only a little bit bigger than a business card. Like it's a very small amount of space that you have to cover, which is really freeing until you go to ink it and they're just like, "Why is this so small? This is the smallest thing I've ever drawn on. What am I doing?" Yep. But I did it. Yeah, I definitely at one point got out like the white and black Posca pens and be like, "We're just gonna paint marker right over this. Look at now she's got cute lacy details for no reason."
Yep.
Yep, that's how it goes.
What? I didn't mess up.
I'm offended at the insinuation.
That was my plan the whole time.
Exactly.
I totally meant her whole arm to be covered in tattoos. That is totally what I meant.
Yes.
Good day, sir.
I said good day. Oh. Hey man, I fully believe that what the customer doesn't know about the creation process, that doesn't kill them. Like, if they're happy with the final, then everybody wins.
I almost get nervous when I have like commission clients. I'm like, I'll send you the rough sketch. Keep in mind, this is a rough sketch.
The number of, not so much with my personal commissions, but when I worked at the garment decorating place, the number of places where I'm like, this is just a mock-up because I'm not going to spend 6 hours making you 5 different logos for you to say no to all of them. They're like, well, these don't look very polished. And I'm just like, you know what? You're correct. They aren't.
Good for you for noticing.
So,
Now go back to your corner.
great observation. Thank you. Just like, all I can imagine in those moments is the scene where like Stitch gets so frustrated that he just like vibrates and falls over. And I was like, that was me with the clients. Cause I'm just like, I can't with this. I can't do it. So fun.
So fun. There we go.
Well, I'm having fun drawing my heart lady.
Yay!
Woo!
I suspect that's the vodka talking, but I'll take it. She looks really good.
Thank
I
you.
like it because she's still got like it's in your style. Her face reminds me of your character, so I feel like you brought your personality to it.
I have a style. Oh my god.
Aw.
Yay!
Did she have the star on her cheek, or did you add that?
She did. That's where she does the little thingy to steal their heart.
Oh, okay.
Normally her hair like covers it up and then she pulls it off to the side.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody wish that some of these, because she's so cool. I vaguely remember her, but I just wish we could have had a couple maybe multi-episode villains. Like, you know, the monsters be like, haha, you thought you got me, but I'll be back next week.
I'll just go away and heal and then come back.
That would have been cool. Definitely something different.
There were a couple, but if anything, they lasted like 2 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't have a lot of, other than like the leader bad guys.
Well, like the only one that I can think of off the top of my head is actually the episode in S where it's Sailor Moon's birthday, like on screen, her birthday. And that lasts for 2 episodes because that's when her heart is targeted. And it's a shoe, like a glass shoe that gets turned into the monster on that one. I don't watch this show all the time religiously and have every episode practically memorized to the point that I can tell
I'm glad you do though, because I could be like, what about this? And you're like, oh yeah, they totally did that. I'm like, when? And you're like, this episode. I'm like, I vaguely recall that, but now I know how to find it because now I want to watch it. So thank you.
No, I'm here
You're
for all
welcome.
of this knowledge.
I will
I
go
use my
upstairs to my
powers
DVDs.
for good.
To triumph over evil.
Yeah.
Woo! And don't hit people with cars. Just...
That's the
I
real
mean,
Doodle Crew takeaway.
Unless they're part of the Supreme Court, then by all means, please hit
Yeah.
them with your car.
Yeah.
Oh God, what a week.
Insert the Price is Right losing sound.
Oh.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh.
Wow. All right.
Wait, yours is gold, but yours is not. Why? Sorry. I'm mad about this. Is it really like that? Sailor Moon, why? I guess so. All right. It's fine. I'm racking my brain right now to try and recall if I have that much like memory stored of any show where I could recall things like that. I'm like, there's some that I think I could do pretty well on, but I don't think I have any where I'm that good. So
I just get obsessive about things. Like Randall can vouch. We'll watch a movie, and then immediately after the movie's over, he goes off and does something because he knows I'm going to be on the couch for the next 2 hours on every single like fan page and Wikipedia, like looking up every fact and random thing about said movie that I just watched. Like I haven't consumed it enough. So I just am really into that kind of thing, and I absorb that kind of information. But you asked me, about covalent bonds and what college course. Like I don't know. The things that your memory retains, I guess.
yeah.
All of it.
All right. I think I'm done with this one, and I'm going to move on to my next one.
Yeah.
I mean, real quick.
No, she looks really cool.
Wait, I can see.
I love the
Ooh.
coloring, right?
Oh yeah.
So that is my Cassinian monster, and I had really a lot of fun with her face. And her boobs. Thank you. Yeah. Got a little shine right there. You gotta
Love a good boob shine.
And I'm just gonna say the shoulder pads, they're spectacular.
They really are.
You could poke someone's eye out with those.
And they also look plant-like, like more plant-like than I feel they were in the movie.
They looked very cone-like in
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
So
No, I think you definitely got a much better like layered bark or hard shell.
like a
Plant.
carapace or something.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Words.
So my next one, I already did a sketch of, but it doesn't look like the character because again, I was on a plane a few hours ago and I was drawing these from memory. And this character, if I can pull up my reference, is such a random character that again, Randall can tell you I obsessed over trying to find this character. I don't know if I can. I have a picture of her, but for some reason it's not. It's one of those like WEPB files.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't pull it up. So all I found was like a fan art of her, so I'll pull this one up. And she's just this weird, like, I think she's supposed to be a topiary plant
Yeah.
or something like that. The point is, when she's killed off, this is in supers, and she's summoned by S3E3, one of the Amazon quartet. And when she's killed off by Sailor Moon, her line when she's killed is, "I didn't even do anything," and she doesn't. Rachel and I rewatched the episode because I was like, I know there's a villain in one of the episodes that doesn't even do anything, and she even says it as Sailor Moon kills her, and it feels very wrong because she didn't have attack or anything. And then we finally found the episode after like an hour of searching for it, and yeah, it is. She is formed. She refuses to do anything, and then Sailor Moon kills her, and then her last dying line is, "I didn't even do anything."
Oh my
It's just such a
god.
pathetic. So my concept is, they don't actually die. They just like decorporealize and become like part of the Dead Moon Circus again. And if you remember in the Dead Moon Circus, they have this bar.
Yes.
Yes.
So my idea is that they all just go back to the bar and start complaining about the horrible day that they had with the sailors pumpkins.
My god, I love all of this so much.
So she's just at the bar complaining to everyone else about how horrible her day has been. You wouldn't believe the hours she worked, and she gets no thank you for it. And I'm giving her a whiskey because she seems the type. So yeah, that's my concept. So I want to like draw this little bar sign in there too.
That is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
All
I
of that
love
makes
that.
me so happy.
I mean, you know, because they're working people, these villains of the day, and they don't get paid enough for this.
I feel like they show up for their shift, you know, bad things happen to them, and then they head home for the day. Like,
I don't get paid enough for this. Didn't ask for this.
yeah, most of them didn't. I was like, no, I legit didn't ask for any of this. I was happily shopping in the shopping district, and came out of nowhere.
Just trying to do my job. These people come in wearing mini skirts and they cop an attitude with me. Kids these days, no respect. Anyway, yeah, so whenever that side series wants to happen.
So here for it.
Toei, call me.
Well, that's where I think it kind of like it was something that we talked about, Randall, when we watched Turning Red. And I kind of thought about it with, I was so happy with how they depicted like Malin drawing in her like lined notebook.
Yes.
And all of that. And I was just like, oh my God, one, I'm so seen. And two, just like this unnatural pull that you have to draw this thing. And I'm like, it's literally not for anybody else. This is just for me. And I have to make this happen. Like, no one will get this. No one will understand. It's not for anyone. It's just for me. So good. So sweet.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I was having flashbacks during that scene of sitting in middle school and drawing really bad Sailor Moon art in my lined notebook.
Mm-hmm. Just such bad art. Such bad art. But
That's how you can tell a movie was made by people who went through the same thing.
uh-huh. Yeah, those are one of those where I'm like, no, you don't just like imagine that out of your head. You wrote what you knew right there.
You lived that.
I see you and you see me, and we appreciate each other right now.
Yes, we are having a moment. Oh.
I do have a funny story about that scene. I've already told this to Randall. So I do Tumblr a lot. And Tumblr really liked that scene, obviously. Unfortunately, I heard that there was a lot of like discourse over that scene, and people were like, oh yeah, no, they get it. And so I went to watch it, and it was a video on Tumblr, and I didn't know that it had been edited by someone. So I thought the video I was watching was legit what was from the movie because I hadn't seen the movie yet. And it was most blatantly like furry art. And I was like, wow. But all the comments were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Disney did this. Like, how, you know, this is like so real and so apt, but how could they get away with this? And so then I'm watching and she's like drawing furry art. And I'm like, yeah, how did Disney get away with that? And I believed it wholeheartedly that that was the original scene. And then when I finally watched the movie, I was like, wait a minute. That dude is not a wolf.
No. He's a mermaid.
He was a mermaid. So I felt a little lied to on that. Not that it made the scene any worse. It was just funny.
No, that is really funny. I can't imagine. But I can imagine. No, let me fully form that whole sentence. I can't imagine Disney doing it. But if they did, I can picture the exact wolf face that would have been drawn. Vividly in my brain. I can see it.
Speaking of, it's Anthrocon here in Pittsburgh.
Is it really?
I have already been seeing them popping up on the gay apps. I'm like, oh, that's a person in a fursuit. Oh, it's Anthrocon. Okay. Which makes sense because it's usually around like the 4th of July, that weekend.
Okay. Oh, also, Ace says, save your work. Oh, thank you.
Ooh, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Found a picture I can actually show now. That's really small. She's just this weird plant thing.
Oh my god, but look at the attitude.
When she's asked to eat the mirror, she's like, no, that's icky. I'm not touching it. And she just doesn't do anything the whole episode but stand there. She never throws an attack or anything. So
oh my god.
When she's killed off, I don't even do anything. Which brings up some ethical concerns about you're killing a sentient creature.
Well, I forget. How did that work with the mirrors? Were they people?
They were technically people whose dreams had been eaten or something by Nehelania. They were denizens of the Dead Moon Circus that had been eaten. Their dreams had been eaten by Nehelania to keep her young and beautiful. And they were servants of like the Amazon Quartet or whatever. They appeared from their shadows, so I don't know if they were like part of them. They don't really explain. Look, it's not about the world building, okay?
No, it really genuinely wasn't. It was about the lore building, but not the world.
Had lots of lore, yeah, that's true. It had lots of lore.
The actual mechanics of these things, no. We don't have time for that. Well, because I remember like some of Sailor Moon's attacks are like purifying attacks. So they're not killing them, they're healing them. It sounds so dark when I say it.
In quotes.
No, I'm healing you.
With violence.
With violence. I have to heal you by throwing things at you.
Yeah, I don't think they should be screaming that loud if they're supposed to be healing.
But they did always scream, didn't they?
They did scream. Where are the sirens on that comment?
Yeah.
Oh, that line got janky with me laughing. Oh god.
Oh my gosh. Funny.
Lots of leaves. That's the motif we're going with here. Leaves.
Okay, that's that, and this is going to be this color. Yeah. I dig it. I'm alright with that.
Oh, she's got leaves as pigtails.
Oh, but she's actually really like cute and fun. I like it. I'm so glad you brought her.
She's such a weird design.
Very creative, though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it fits with the villain of this, the S3E3. Like she always has like flower motif stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She's
The
like
pink and yellow.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
the pink and yellow one. She becomes Sailor Suri, which is a moon in the asteroid belt. Now go ace your 6th grade astrology.
And then they all
Andrea
get to
is
go
the
to sleep
powerhouse
for
of the cell.
1,000 years.
Oh, that's right. They do get to go to sleep. They get to take a big old nap.
I was at trivia the other night. I didn't actually play this time, although when Kristen was here, we played, and we
We
used
sucked.
our team name as Doodle Crew because we were using our noodle that day.
Which I
Yeah.
love. So good.
But yeah, so I was at the bar this week when trivia was going on, and it was a science question, and I swear multiple people around the bar all said mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Like, it has been ingrained into us to just be this like collective conscious joke that we all say now.
Oh, I love that we're so programmed. Just
Because the question was about like what is the term for a liquid's resistance to flow?
Like the hypertension of the water?
Sure.
What was the answer, Randall?
Viscosity.
Oh, the Oh, that's
Makes
not
sense.
the hypertension.
So it was like a very fancy way of saying, what do you call something that's sticky?
Or thick.
Yeah.
Ick.
Like this ass that I'm drawing on her.
She is thick. Also, someday I would so very much love to master the skill of just like the like almost royal blue accent line when you're doing overlapping like black, or just really good like white highlight shadows like they always do. Like I try so often and I'm never good at it. Never.
What is
Mayor
I'm
Squish
not-
is good at that.
Air Squish is good at that.
What is this? I wasn't quite understanding.
So I always think of, oh gosh, what was it? She drew a character from Rockadoodle, right?
But
But,
she
like-
also did Kim Possible, and she did the
Oh,
one.
that's right.
Yeah.
So anytime you've got like, so we'll say with Kim Possible, how she's got that black like crop turtleneck thing. So anytime like her arm is going to go across her body, you can still see the outline of where her arm is, and it isn't just outlined in white, but it's like
It's gray or something.
Yeah, the gray or the blue. Like
I can demonstrate. Like on mine right now, if I were to do that on the arm, let's say. And it said, hey, I'm not going to work for you.
You wanted to show people? Not today.
Yeah. Oh, because I have it set to multiply. That's why. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay. Yeah, I
then-
see what you're saying.
And then like make the arm line like blue instead of black.
That's cool.
I always think I understand it, and I go in like, yeah, I got this. I don't got this. That's the takeaway at the end, and I almost always give up on it and erase it and just do something not as good. I don't got it.
It is.
Yeah, I was so impressed with Mayor Squish and like those couple of pieces, because it's like, no, like you planned this and it worked beautifully. She's gonna be so embarrassed that we were talking about her when she's not here.
Aw.
But like cute embarrassed. It's
Yes.
a good thing.
Yes.
Happy embarrassed.
What's the adjective for that?
Happy embarrassed.
Yeah, I feel like that's got to have a word. Probably in German. It probably doesn't translate.
I was gonna say something like not touched, but like when you're complimentary of
Oh yes.
humbly thankful. I don't know.
Like it.
Humbled.
Humbled. So I don't know, humbled because it's nothing but good things. All good things. All good things.
Yeah.
You're right. It's probably a German word and it's probably got like 18 syllables.
Yep. It translates to a whole sentence in English. That feeling when.
Like when Sarah was trying to come up with a German word for the phenomenon of when you take a painting off the wall and there's like that shadow of where it once was. She's like, there's got to be a weird German word for that specific thing.
Oh my gosh.
And was there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Isn't it
But
just called a wall ghost?
Oh,
Sure.
I like that.
And I think she
That's what
was
they
trying
call
to
it on
come
the
up with something.
HGTV. They call it wall ghosts.
If someone's gonna know, they're gonna be the ones. Not gonna lie.
They have a whole network.
They have to know. It's their job to know.
They probably have whole seasons talking about this dang wall ghosts.
Okay. I want you to know that even with all of these elements that I have already included, they still have two stupid white other things coming out of their butts. There's more. There's still more.
Why did you choose these
Ah,
the most complex characters?
I didn't know. I
They're-
thought they were on screen for so little time. They fooled me.
They're actually
Emily-
so. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, but Emily, it's the 90s. You should know from all the commercials. But wait, there's more.
No,
like,
wait,
it's
there's
never
more.
over when you think it's over.
No, they told me. They openly told me, and I didn't listen.
They look so complex, though, that I wonder if they're supposed to be an homage or a nod to something. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some really obscure Japanese, like, I don't know, talk show or cartoon or comic book, and they're just, like, based off of them.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
they're
Yeah,
so specifically designed, it doesn't look like it's the random grab bag that some other characters are.
Yes.
Looking at you, topiary lady. That I'm currently working
I didn't even do anything.
I'm just a baby.
Just a baby. Oh my god.
That is my favorite TikTok in the world.
It gets me so much.
I'm just a baby.
Oh my gosh, this was
Coco, you still have to do what mommy says.
just
A baby.
a whole bunch of us were getting to work the other week, and this is like a month ago or something, and I was, giving Vineyard Warrior in chat a kiss goodbye, and I was up on my tiptoes because he's taller than me, and one of the other coworkers from like across the parking lot was like, I'm just a baby. And I was like, okay, it's a good joke, but I'm gonna need you to stop. You got me there.
What's the German word for being embarrassed by the truth? But also it's funny. It's like, oh, that's the best
funny.
joke someone's ever had at my expense, but stop.
Yes, but also stop. Yep.
I'm gonna laugh with you this time, but don't make me laugh at it again.
Yep.
I'm just a baby.
Yeah, the amount that all of those TikTok things have invaded my brain and live there now, it's impressive.
It
That's
takes over
terrifying.
all the vines that used to be in your brain.
Yep. I will say though, murder. Judas, that will live there forever. That one will never die.
as well as Free Shavakadu.
Free Shavakadu. God damn. Free Shavakadu. Oh god.
Yeah, there are so many of those that still.
See, kids, but vines were this thing before TikTok.
You don't understand. You only had 7 seconds.
You had to mean it. Oh god.
I don't have enough money for chicken nuggets. I hate that lives in my brain, and every time I pass a Wendy's or something, that's what pops up.
Same. I can't go to a grocery store. I'm ruined for life. I walk by an avocado and I'm like, free shabakadoo.
Free shabakadoo.
Free shabakadoo.
Driving through Pennsylvania, or at this point, any point in New York, or I can see the road work ahead. I sure hope it does. I'm just like, stop! Stop! Get out of my brain!
For me, it's whenever anyone says story time.
Story time.
Yep.
Story time.
Oh,
Are you going to
Thomas.
throw something at me?
God.
Oh God. I'm just imagining like this is us in retirement homes, like
Free
Sitting-
shabakadoo.
sitting in the activities room saying, I don't have enough money for chicken nuggets. Okay, Grandpa.
Let's get you to bed.
Remember
It's either
dial up.
Oh, God.
it's either that or it's but I am tired.
Yes.
And no one is going to say, then have a nap. Like, no one's going to do it for us.
Nope.
See, kids, but before Vine, there was this thing called Newgrounds.
And E-Bombs World.
And
There's
E-Bombs
this thing called
World.
E-Bombs World.
before
And,
YouTube.
yeah.
Okay.
YouTube used to just be your grandpa's video site where he watched, some guy practice repairing a motorcycle or a lawnmower or something.
Or like you saw like Grandpa's 75th birthday. Like that's what was on there.
Yep,
Or-
sharing videos with family.
A dude listening to Swedish pop music. Numa
Yup.
Dance. Yeah, that was great.
Oh,
Dude,
Flash
I
animation.
have that whole CD and I friggin' love it. Ozone made some good bops. I don't know what any of them say, but I love it. I still sing along. Oh, good. Oh, I missed a shoe.
Because we both work with the younger generation, Emily. Do you expose them or do you like make jokes and do you try? Like I'll try to be hip sometimes. Like I'll put little like funny GIFs and stuff in PowerPoints and everything. And I know they're not going to get a reaction. And they don't. But I'm disappointed every time they don't.
I have definitely leaned into the using like slang from a couple like iterations before what we're in now, like obnoxiously, like no, then we can yeet it out of here, and like getting them to groan, like that's a personal thing that I enjoy.
I guess that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely, there are times, and then there are other times where I'm just like, I don't have time for I can't with you kids today. It's just also I'm like, I don't have the energy to explain to you like where all of this actually came from. And I was like, do you know why you say that? It's because of it. No, it's not worth it. It's okay. You don't care. I care. You don't care. I am the only
I
one who
walk
cares
so
in this.
you could run.
Yes.
I got
I mean-
your free shavakadoo so that you could has I just baby.
Oh yeah, let's not even talk about I could has a cheeseburger.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, it's like that post on Facebook where it's like pictures of badgers and stuff, and somebody comments like, "What even is this?" And it's like we have reached the generation that doesn't know the first internet memes.
Yep. Yeah, because it's like badgers, and then there's a picture of some mushrooms, and they're just like, what are these? What? And I'm like,
And a cat with a cheeseburger, and it's like, come on!
this is know your history.
Sailor Moon says.
Pay attention in class, kids.
Don't be like us. We just babies.
Not
It's
It's
anymore.
nap time.
Fill your brain with the internet.
Oh man.
Work on a second character. Hardy har har, Emily. That was quite funny. Aren't you
Oh, but
precious?
remember, you wanted to do all 5 of the
Yeah.
Oh, the
Doom
Doom and
and
Gloom
Gloom
girls.
Yep. I have the big dumb. That's what I have. I am not smart. They're just so pretty. But they've all got like little triangle shapes. They've got wings. They've got like feathers on their bikinis.
And they're very, very well-fitted bikinis.
Yep.
I still just want to know creative intention. Why they gotta be that way? A lot of other magical girl shows like either go super goofy with the villains or they go like, oh, they're just big animals and stuff. I can't think of too many that aren't played straight that are as goofy as Sailor Moon's.
You say as I was just painting the shine onto her butt cheeks.
Onto her butt hearts.
Mm-hmm.
They're goofy.
That's why we love them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious if anybody in the chat is still here and paying attention. What were your favorite villains from the series?
Excellent question. Yes, I apologize, chat. These characters caused a lot more brain work than I expected, and I did not ask you any questions.
And if nobody says the tennis shoe monster, you're all dismissed.
Yes, Ace gets a pass as they have never watched Sailor Moon, but I really feel like we have given such an excellent recommendation for so much of this that I feel like Hebe mentioned Hebe mentioned the tennis ball monster, but it was in the I can't believe nobody is drawing it.
Oh, right.
We are not on the publishing team. We do not host any thoughts of you watching Sailor Moon, but you should. But don't blame us for the weird stuff you think about later.
And then next time you'll be prepared when we're like, yeah, some of this stuff is weird. And you'll be like, oh, I know.
Yeah, I know, y'all. I experienced it.
So
Thanks for that.
I don't know about any of you, but I kind of have the same kind of response when someone asks me, should I watch Sailor Moon? And it's the same response I give when someone asks, should I go to college for art?
It worked out for me, but
which it always starts with, well, there's a big but coming. Yeah, sure, but be aware, it's the thing of its time. But yeah, it's enjoyable if you just remember it's from the 90s for YouTube.
Yeah, it's one of those where, and I think I knew this, but not specifically. So when I was watching something and they mention, they're like, yeah, like YouTube first launched in 2005. Like just the realization of that and the internalizing of it, I'm just like, oh my God. So when people talk about college and finding information, I'm like, okay, I need you to know that I couldn't get the information that I can get now back then. It didn't exist in the forms that it does now. So much of what I learned, you could now teach yourself on the internet. And I could not.
I think it's interesting because Kristen has been telling me a bit about like some online seminars and stuff that have been going on.
I do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I remember you shared the stuff about Lightbox, which I feel like is coming up or has happened, or
Lightbox is early to mid October.
Oh, okay.
The weekend of October 16th. I'm going. Super excited.
Yay.
Actually, it's funny I'm in LA now because that is also in LA, specifically in Pasadena, which is close to LA. So I'll be back here and come October. Oh, it's your birthday. Yay. So yes, Lightbox Expo, I am super excited for it. And it has tons of like seminars and retrospectives and things like that. But yeah, there's also like, actually this may or may not be interesting, not to exclude Randall, but for Megan and
None for you.
Emily. Well, it's called Wiggy. It's Women in Games. And it's a mentorship program that it's women in the industry mentoring women who either are mid-level in the industry or want to like progress. It's not for entry level, which is really hard to find things, talks, help that isn't entry level, but for like mid-level and how to like either progress or better your skills and career. So yeah, that mentorship program. And then they're talking about women in illustration, which instead of Wiggy would be Willy.
It got worse.
So they might not go with the same acronym setup, but yeah, so they're actually giving tons of talks and a lot of really good ones about resumes and time management, but then also how to like talk, different ways to give presentations versus talk to someone in person versus interviewing, ways to like lay out information, structure, organization, file systems, just lots of really interesting talks.
Dang,
Yeah.
awesome.
So yeah, that's a mentorship. And then yeah, Lightbox Expo is like an industry convention also for good mid-level stuff, which is not something that you think about that often, how few resources there are for people who are not entry level.
Yes. Okay, so after this stream, I go to the internet and I search for Willy. Willy, help me.
I want to be a Willy. Can I use my disguise pen? That sounds like stuff I need to learn, like how to talk.
How to make your Willy talk? What?
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Gonna say, guys,
Or like
not
me
10
being
o'clock yet.
on me being on professional calls and being like, yeah, you know, you just click on this shit over here. Oh wow, he's very brash, isn't he?
Yeah, it was a lot of how whenever you're talking to someone, you tend to adopt their speaking language if you're trying to like work with them, like coordinate with them. If someone's like a little abrasive, you tend to respond in kind. So it's to work on that it's sometimes okay to put ums and ers in a sentence because it makes you seem more personable, but also to know like how to keep people from interrupting you when you need to take a pause for like breath or something. And it's by pausing in the middle of a sentence, not at the end of a sentence. So it'd be like, I have a good idea. Let's do this. Or let me answer your question. And then you like pause or take a breath or whatever you need to do. Here's the solution. So you don't finish a sentence, then breathe. You give them a little tidbit to let them know that you are not done talking. And then you take your pause or your breath or whatever. So little things like that. I'm not saying they work all the time.
Code. Just don't breathe. Then you'll never be interrupted.
True. That's true. Well, that's for the next talk. You got to earn that talk.
Or be a straight man.
I mean, yeah.
Or that.
So, where's my transformation pen?
Yeah. That was severely underutilized in the show.
Severely underutilized. Criminally underutilized.
So
I mean,
much
I was
so that
just
I had
thrilled to-
forgotten about it until I watched an episode recently where she was like, transformation pen into a boat captain. I'm like, what?
She does use it to transform into a man only once. She never uses it again. And it's a shame.
Wait. What was the man one? I'm blanking.
It's in the manga. It's when she
Oh.
transforms herself into a groom. It never got animated in the anime, but it's a Yoma that's possessed a ghost that possessed a mannequin of a bride in a bridal shop window. Not making that up.
Yep.
And she uses the disguise pen to disguise herself as a groom to defeat it. And I feel like the victim of that's the episode in the manga that Jupiter shows up in. That's Jupiter's episode. So Jupiter's like reveal episode is different in the manga versus the anime, but Mercury's and Mars's is pretty much the same. So yeah. And it's like Sailor Moon says something like, "Hey bride, I'm your groom, let's dance in hell." And I think the translation, because this was the mix translation, like even capitalized in hell with like a really like cruddy font, like made it like just, all right, we're gonna use this word, you might as well use it all the way.
Okay, so I'm going to throw out probably 10-minute warning because I realize that it is almost 10 p.m. And yeah, for those of us in the East Coast.
I have not set my clocks yet, so for me it is almost 10 p.m. still. Yeah, close enough. Right?
Now, do you have stuff you have to get up early to do there tomorrow, or?
We do have, I can't remember panel or workshops tomorrow, but we do, but they're not until I think 4 in the afternoon, so I'm fine for tomorrow. I am dressing up though, so that should be nice and fun. So that's always getting up early for that.
Yeah.
So it's fun. But yeah, so we're here until Monday. We have panels and workshops Friday and Saturday. So yeah, fun at Anime Expo. I've been here twice before, so this will be my 3rd time. But it's good. It's big. Like, you probably won't get through the entire convention within the weekend. Like, just the convention center is so big.
Holy cow.
Or maybe that's just because you're walking really slow in high stilettos with a dress on. I don't know. Depends on what you're dressing up as that day.
Do you know if there's any fun Sailor Moon stuff going on there this year? Because I know there have been in the past.
Yes, there. The only thing that I saw on the schedule so far was Viz is doing a Sailor Moon panel. Viz is the current one that redubbed the Sailor Moon anime and simulcasting the new movies. But I'm putting air quotes that it's a Sailor Moon panel because in the description it says like, oh, Viz is going to talk about their new releases of like Gundam and Rurouni Kenshin, and oh, by the way, we'll have like 2 voice actors from the new Sailor Moon dub, and that's it. So it's called a Sailor Moon industry panel by Viz, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that. Looks like it's just going to be an advertisement for Viz. Kodashi, which is the publisher for the manga, usually has a panel here, but they don't have one. And they're kind of cool because they sometimes fly in Osapi, who was Sailor Moon's editor, or excuse me, Naoka Tekuji's editor. That was last Anime Next, actually. He was here, and he answered my question. He took me out of the crowd. So cute. Senpai noticed me. But no, other than that, I don't think I saw any Sailor Moon panels on the schedule even, other than that one. But don't you worry, I submitted one and it did not get accepted.
Oh,
That's weird for the 30th anniversary year. You'd think you'd have something going on.
Agree. Maybe at Otakon this year they'll have something. That's the next panel, or the next big, like, con is Otakon. Huh.
Yeah.
When's that one?
That one is in the end of next month. Or
Oh, nice.
tomorrow's July, so the end of
Yeah.
this month.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think you said like Pittsburgh's TechoCon is the end of July.
TechoCon is the second from the last weekend in July, and it's right before Otakon.
Yeah.
Con season is very busy.
Yeah.
It's fun though. I don't mind. It's a really nice thing to do with my summers.
Yeah. I'm very happy to have it back. That's for sure.
But hopefully
I
we'll get
will-
some fun sailing and stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna say I will be interested to see what you report back.
Yes, sir. If nothing else, there's usually I'm not because for those that don't know, I sometimes do cosplay, and I'm not dressing up as any Sailor Moon characters this time, but I still like to go to the Sailor Moon like photo shoot meetups because there's just so many fun people you can meet. So here's hoping I'll make some new friends. And they'll have some new info. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call it on her.
Look at you, you wild and crazy kids doing your multiple characters.
Nope.
Well, you are, Emily. You got 2 of them.
I do have 2 of them.
That's
yes.
true.
There are 2 of them. And like an idiot, I drew their full bodies, even though I told myself, I'm like, you could get away with just busts. No, I didn't.
They kind of need to have their full bodies, though. They're so detailed.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I was like, and part of their whole thing is them like being twins and like clasping their tails together. So like that's a part of it. So
Yeah.
I have to decide if I want to do little effects because the red one mimics Sailor Mars and has fire, and the green one does Sailor Mercury. So I'm wondering if I want to like that was what I had originally sketched, but and I kind of just like their pose. So yeah, I'm ready to to give them a break and myself.
sounds good.
Randall, would you like a couple more seconds?
I'm good. I can just
Okay.
stop right there.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
hang on. We're gonna highlight you. Boop. Look at that. Bam.
Yeah, look
Look at her butt.
Zoom in
got-
on that butt.
She's
Yeah,
got
let's see that
all
heart.
the hearts.
Is that a heart in her hair?
She has 2 hearts in her hair. Oh, you mean like the hair itself?
Yeah.
Oh my
You have a little
Yeah.
heart at the end of the hair.
I
I
did. I
love it.
added that.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
I love her hat. It's just like those droopy hearts.
Mhm.
It's
So
so
good.
stupid. Everything about it's so stupid. But that's why I
Oh.
loved it so much when I saw it.
Oh, it's good. You did really well. That is a really hard, like, boobs bust, like, thing to make happen. Like,
Thank you. It's a body. Those are very
It is.
hard for me.
bodies are hard. Bodies are hard. Hey, where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
You probably don't, honestly, but if you do, you can go to my Instagram shown there on the screen. You can also hit up my Tumblr. And follow Doodle Crew. We post things like our art and stuff. And
Yeah, we
my
do.
art will also appear on there.
Yay! Excellent. All right. Kia, would you like to go next?
Sure.
Go
So
ahead,
this was the
tell.
second one that I did.
Look at her little face.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Aw.
I love it so much.
She's so disappointed with her lot in life. Just
Oh my god. The
didn't
fa-
even
the
do
lips.
anything.
Oh, it's so good.
And you
So-
even did the bar logo.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, I kind of stole the bar logo and put a blend mode on it, but I totally did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
So I have the bar logo and then just her complaining with her little whiskey shot about her lot in life. Very, very sad. And her name, by the way, is Toge Toge,
Oh.
which probably means something. I know that all of the Amazon Quartet's villains, like little monsters, are just the same word twice.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm sure
That makes
Toge
sense.
means something.
Let's
Like,
find out
maybe-
because in Digimon there's Togemon, which is the giant cactus.
Oh,
All I
wonder
can think
if
is
it's
it
plant-
like means plant. Yeah.
Yeah.
It means like thorn.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that
Hey,
makes
we learned
sense.
something.
Yeah.
There you go.
Woo.
So yeah, so this is Toge Toge, and this was the first one I did. Let me hide the bar logo. And this is Glacia, which probably also means some sort of like plant, because I know Cassinian was the name of the main villain. But yeah, so that was the first one I did.
Oh, so cool. The claw hands are great too.
The
Ugh.
big like gnarly witch hands.
Yeah. Oh, they're so good. Ah, that's awesome. Yeah, and where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
Mainly on Instagram. You can message me there. I also lurk a lot on Tumblr, and I mean, you can try me on Twitter, but I kind of forget I have it. So Instagram's probably the best. And I'm busy, but I obviously like drawing Sailor Moon. So if you like Sailor Moon, I got lots for you. And if you
Yes.
have any questions about any villain or want to know what episode, you just hit me up.
You let me know, I will tell you.
Right? I don't remember my times tables, but I can tell you what episode what villain was from.
Yes. I'm here for it. All right. Megan. Oh, she's looking so creepy. I love it.
Yeah, I started on my big bad, Nehelenia, or Nehelenia,
Yeah.
something like that.
I think
It's 10.
Nehelenia.
It's past 10. My
Yeah.
brain's done. And then my first one. Where'd you go? Where'd you
All
go?
the layers.
There she is.
Look at those colors.
Ooh.
Yeah. Also, that pose is so good.
Yes.
Thank
I
you.
love
That's her utilizing her disco ball light. I didn't feel like drawing a disco ball.
That's
Is
completely understandable.
and
That
she's got her
water is
hand like
awesome.
reaching forward. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that turned out
Yeah,
so
I can
cool.
zoom in. There. With her little weird antenna thingy.
Yeah. So much weird stuff. Just always. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. Also, I love it because I feel like she's got an incredibly simple design, but you've got so much movement in the pose that it just works so well.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
you.
Hey, where can people find you?
Well, they can find me on Instagram at Megan C Creates, and I'm gonna put in a shameless plug for my Etsy shop today. It is also Megan C Creates, and I have 30% off because it's the 30th on all my Sailor Moon stuff. So, ah!
I have a button for that. I was ready.
Awesome.
Heck yeah. Oh, I love it. All right. Let me get my girls over here. I'll get them. There they are. We did it. Look at those bent up foot poses.
Yeah.
Did it.
Yeah.
I
kinda-
love
I'm-
the. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I love the mouth on the like green and purple one. Like she just looks like she's doing that. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
Oh, she's absolutely doing the anime laugh. 100%. Yep. No, it was fun. It's a lot of moving parts. And as you can see, I still didn't tackle where exactly those little other bits come off, but I just didn't want to for right now. So they'll make an appearance later. But yeah, they were fun. I am happy that I did them. They're very silly, but I like it. So
I love them, and I love how they're like entwined, and they've got all these. You weren't kidding about details. I'm like, there's little bits and bobs, and they've
There's
got
little-
markings.
there's
and
a triangle there. There's this
Take us on
little
a
thing.
tour.
Yeah, like they
Yeah.
got little bracelets, they've got little necklaces. These little things are like they go up to where their ears would be. Also, like she's got pointier hair, she's got wavier hair. Her triangle points up, her triangle points down. What? Oh, you can't see behind my head. There you go. That one points down, that one points up. What? What is this madness? It's just nutty. And yeah, so then
Wow.
the
How does it all stay up? Like, just
I have so many questions.
spirit glued in place, I guess.
Yeah, and like spray foamed and just
Paint, body paint.
yeah, so much. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen these two cosplayed. I feel like you'd have to Like, not only would you have to find someone willing to do it with you, but like so much things that have to be precariously done. Yeah.
I like the line that you have between their two raised legs, how it kind of like follows through from one to the other one.
Yay! Good. I was worried. I was like, is it too much, or does it kind of work? So good.
It works because their faces are also angled in that way.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Yay! It was somewhat purposeful. Sometimes. Early on in the night when I was still feeling young and vibrant. Yeah, if you want to see more of me, you can follow me across the internet. Add a swan named Emily. Follow us at Doodle Crew Draw. Check out our link tree. See all the things from the artist. Head over to my YouTube where you can watch previous episodes. I think that's everything. But yeah, happy Sailor Moon birthday. Thank you for doing Moon stuff with us. We love it. We'll be back doing more Sailor Moon stuff at another point because this is who we are as people.
You could easily convince us to do more.
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
So thank you all. Goodbye.